Oh, dude, yes.
Oh, it's
So
so
awesome.
stupid. All right, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Let me get some water. I got some water right here. Drink. Let me take a
Alright,
swig.
alright. Take swoogity swooty of this. Right?
No. No, I accidentally fucked up. Hold on.
We need the bot in here. Hold on. Music commands. There we go.
Yeah, get that music.
So let's see. Let me just copy yours.
Alright.
So I have chat open and do that.
The fuck?
That's not it.
That's what I put. I put Ice Deal by Kevin McLeod. Didn't work. Hold on.
What the fuck?
What is playing right now? What the fuck is this?
I don't know. Hold on.
You should
Let
find
me.
some better sounds. No, I can't full screen it. It's fine. What we'll do is we'll just shift.
There we go.
There we go. Alright, alright. We're ready.
Hold on.
Oh, this is so spooky, guys.
Okay,
so
hold
Too
on.
spooky, 5 me.
Okay, there we go.
I'm too scared right now, dude.
All right, guys. Hotel Mario the 13th Hotel.
Let me just zoom this, make this big. Yes, dude.
Yes, dude.
All right, here we go.
Oh, it's spooky
Alrighty.
time.
Oh wait, oh,
Alright, alright.
I gotta pull up my chat too. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna grab a fucking drink and something to eat.
Yeah, I'm refilling my water.
We'll
I need to
right,
pee,
once
so I'll be
that's
right
over, we'll
back.
be right back.
Yeah, got pee.
Okay. Oh shit. No! No, go back.
Bro, you know how fucking
still
scared this
good.
shit sounds? Like, bro. Like, just no silent and all that shit, you know?
Fucker.
Accident. Mario, I had an accident.
There's blood!
It's blood. Alright, already?
Tony's not back.
Shit. Dude, tell him to hurry the fuck up.
I mean, I don't even, man.
Yum. Yummy.
Yummy. Yummy.
Yum yummy. I like food just like soy.
Soy. Oh my god, soy, man. That won't.
Now it's
That
so
would
bad,
never-
dude. Fucking
I
we are
know.
twisted, dude.
Which one's better? We
That
are
one's honestly
twisted or
worse.
soy?
We are twisted is actually so much worse.
It is, but it's funnier that way, you know? We are twisted, you too. This is gonna be like. That's so fucking funny.
The reason we are twisted is worse, like objectively, is because it, unlike Isoy, it doesn't really feel ironic at all. It doesn't feel like
No,
it's
it-
trying to poke fun at all. At least Isoy kind of feels like it was just done ironically.
Yeah.
This shit does not.
No, it's so
We Are
trying to
Twisted
write
felt
really
like it
bad
was like
story.
trying so hard to be serious, and it was so bad.
Alright, we're
Yeah,
back.
no.
Welcome back, finally.
We're just giving our review of We Are Twisted and like just like talking which one's worse, Soy or We Are Twisted.
Dude, friggin' Isoy had the same energy as those fucking nice guy posts where they try so hard to sound like intellectual, but then they just come off as like pretentious and just stuck up.
But as I was saying, it at least felt kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Like it was really bad,
Yeah.
but it felt like you could at least like say it was maybe an ironic post.
Yeah.
We Are Twisted took itself so seriously, and it was bad.
Dude,
Yeah.
the one that takes itself really seriously and is actually one of the cringiest creepypastas I've ever read is Blood Whistle.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, dude. We're reading that one next, by the way. Now
Oh
that you
yeah.
reminded us of it.
Yeah. Oh god, Blood Whistle is so
It's
bad.
so bad. It's so bad.
It was. Yeah. No.
It's really long, but it's so bad.
All right, all right.
All right.
Tony, you start.
All right.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I thought it was gonna be a normal day. I was just dumping Hotel Mario's source for future uses, but never expected I'd find that. One of the files dumped was a level, the 13th Hotel, which had a unique cutscene. I was so excited to test it. I used my emulator to play it the quickest as possible. Okay. The opening cutscene begun. It was the original intro, but Luigi was absent. There was some really creepy music in the background. The next scene was the place where Bowser was supposed to stay, but he was not there. Instead, his right hand was still over the rock, but bleeding. In its place, there was what looked like a huge stack of metal, bleeding. I was utterly scared at that point.
Bleeding.
The next scene was the place where Mario and Luigi walks talking about the picnic, but no one was there, not even Mario. That huge red mushroom was supposed to be there, but was broken, and there was blood. The sky was gray all the time. Mario reached the front door of the resort. The board was blank, with huge marks of claws and blood. Mario didn't say anything, just picked up the letter. The next scene was really unsettling. It was Mario in close-up reading the letter. His eyes were completely black, and the sky had changed. Mario
Like
was
my
talking
asshole.
in a kind of demonic enchant. Shut the fuck up, Space. In the next scene, I was shocked. He looked to Luigi, who was dead in an iron stack, and said some glitched noises. Mario kept looking at Luigi with an amused glare at the eyes for around 8 seconds.
Okay. Okay, bro.
All right, all right, all right. The next scene
Okay.
was the condemned board, but instead it was written, "You are condemned." There were claw marks and lots of blood around the bricks and over the soil. Mario comes up, faceless, with white and black clothes, holding his bread box, which was blank. The background was of that of Evil the Cat. 2 messages blinked in a frame in the bread box: 13th Hotel and Help Me. The next scene was the princess waving over the pipe. She kept doing that, with the scene blinking sometimes. Then suddenly she disappeared, and there was blood over the pipe. Mario came up with a messed up red color, with a hellish style, with static in the background, saying more demonic talking in whispers. Then Ludwig's ruined castle appeared. The castle looked The castle looked like it was abandoned, with mist around the place. Mario appeared again, pointing up, like in the final frame of the intro, but his eyes were black. The BG was different, and it was glitching up. For a short moment, he had red pupils facing me. Next scene, Mario walked like in the Toad cutscene, or the Toast cutscene. It was completely black. All what was there was the dead Luigi. Mario stayed like that for a few seconds, and then a close-up of Mario appeared. His eyes had blood dripping from them, and his right eye was hanging out of his socket. There was a knife in his chest, which had also had blood dripping from where he had gotten stabbed. A demonic voice said, "Mario is done for." And static came up. My game froze. This is the video that I could record before the game crashed, along with my entire emulator.
Oh my god, there's a video?
Yes, dude, it's so good.
Oh, let's see it.
It's on YouTube.
I think there's sound. Oh,
What's happening?
There's blood.
Oh, it's so scary, guys. Oh, so scary.
you can still see his eyelashes moving.
Okay.
You are condemned.
Is that the Geiger's
Okay.
background?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of blood you put in their blood. What was blood thinking? Honestly.
That's
I
true.
don't know, man. Well, I'm so entertained right now. Oh.
It looks so bad.
Dude. What even? Huh?
Wait, what just happened? Oh, okay.
Bloody static. Game crashed. Alright.
Is that the end of the story?
Yep.
That's it?
That's it. That's the shortest one we've ever had to read. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, what's your guys' review of that story? Chesnick.
It was at least not long.
It was fun.
It was better than easily.
It was better than both of them, actually.
Yeah. Alright, let's rank the
I
ones
gotta
we
give them
read.
credit
Okay.
for the edit that they like. At least it had video to go along with it, and the music is kind of unsettling, except it's really cheap. It's just like backwards music.
Yeah.
The 13th Hotel.
13th Hotel.
Unfortunately, it had nothing to do with the 13th Hotel, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened in the 13th Hotel? What happened?
6.
Guess so.
Oh, okay.
Dude, looking at
Alright,
the
I'm gonna-
Esoy image, it looks so fucking dumb, dude.
I know, it's really dumb.
The Esoy image? I know what's the Esoy image?
It's like evil Yoshi eating Mario's arm.
Oh.
But it doesn't even look
Cool.
scary anymore. I don't know how we got scared of that shit. 13th Hotel, I can see why I would have been afraid of that, but
Oh no, I was afraid of that. Like even like a couple years ago, I would have been afraid of that
yeah.
a little bit.
It's genuinely pretty unsettling. The video is, at least. The story is kind of shit.
Oh yeah, the story is okay. I mean, it's like
Just blood
the top tier
and
thing,
blood and
we
blood.
read today. The worst was We Are Twisted, and then Esoy's in the middle
Yeah.
for me for the ranking.
All right, let's find Blood Whistle, Tony.
Blood
Right.
Whistle.
Okay. Let me get the link. Let's see. Mario King. Got it. There we go. I could only find it in the troll pasta wiki.
Let's go.
And now we wait. We wait.
Now we wait with all the creepy music and the ambiance.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Who wants to start off this time?
I guess I'll start with June 5th,
All right.
2012. All right,
I'll
got you.
read the foreword. This
Alright,
is the
so
recorded
James, read
blog
the-
of a college student who was playing a modified version of Super Mario Bros. 3 on his computer. Shortly after submitting the last entry, he committed suicide in his dorm room.
All right. Go ahead, Space.
Poggers. That you passed June 5th. A friend of mine recently sent me what he claims to be a scary Super Mario Bros. 3 hack that he wanted me to try out because he didn't have the courage. I started this blog to record my progress through the game. He got this from a site that's no longer active, and I've seen some pretty scary occurrences with emulator games before. Just look at Ben. All that aside, however, there was something different definitely off about this ROM. Its title was Super Mario Bros. 3 Blood Whistle. Anyhow, I won't play any today, as I'm quite busy with college work and such, but I'll definitely start tomorrow.
June 6th, 2012. I played some of the game today. Obviously, my friend was misinformed, as I have played all the way through 1-3 and have found nothing irregular. All the sprites, levels, and sounds didn't have a fluke to their name. Wait, a secret? This must be how you have to unlock it. I swear, you guys, I'll find the warp whistle tomorrow and see what creepy secrets this game has to hide. Looking for tomorrow's posts. Look for tomorrow's post. It won't disappoint. Maybe this will explain what the blood whistle in the title stands for.
June 7th, 2012. I wish I hadn't unlocked that secret. The game will be the bane of my existence. This game will be the bane of my existence. I'll try as best I can to explain what happened, and what it will certainly entail. I don't know if any of you will believe me, but the sick mockery of one of my childhood favorites must be exploited and never be seen by the eyes of any other breathing man on God's green earth. And Todd, what I'll call my friend for the sake of privacy and possibly security, do not send that link to anyone else. You'll see why below. I entered the castle stage, knowing its only secret was the warp whistle. I disposed of a dry bones before donning a raccoon tail. With a running start, I was flying above the stage until I hit the secret area. My whole life before I hit up on my arrow keypad was completely different. I was happy. I was normal. I could wake up in the morning recognizing my own reflection, being absolute about my safety. Now it's lies. All lies. I know that as of what's happened today, my life will become an infernal hell in which every day will be a futile struggle to retain my own sanity. After finishing this wretched collage of electronic dejection, I will embrace death like a long-lost lover with open arms. Now to get on with what had come to pass. The blocks that lined the wall were gloomy, albeit polished obsidian black. Mario's skin now had a grayish tint to it, but that wasn't what was wrong with that picture. The music was a sped up version of the normal bonus room theme. Toad's skull was cracked open and profusely bleeding, spilling blood onto the floor and making the room slippery like an ice stage. The music was a sped up version of the I just already read that name. His mouth was also agape, spewing blood onto the floor. The blood had an eerie reflective quality that should have been graphically impossible for an 8-bit game like Mario 3. I walked up to him to see what it was that he might say. What he had to offer was this. Blood whistle. Hear its cry. I then ran towards the chest to see its contents. The chest was drenched in reflective, realistic blood of the same type emanated by the orifices and exposed cranium of the poor little mushroom-headed fellow. Pressing onward, I ran through it to discover its dark secret, its twisted surprise. I wasn't prepared for the following events. A blood-soaked warp whistle ominously rose from what I now believe to be the deepest crevice of hell. It blipped twice as the normal whistles should. That, my fellow reader, was the only normality of what I have played today. It played a deep tune that I can't get out of my head as I write this. The whistle descended, violently striking Mario in the chest. He unleashed a blood-curdling scream as it went into his back and out of his chest. This cry wasn't 8-bit at all. It wasn't even cartoon-esque. It was a sound of unfiltered anguish, of utter agony. His expression reflected the same. To end my experience of this perverse version of something I once loved, Mario was transported to the warp zone of the blood whistle. I call it this because it only had the cookie-cutter outline of the quaint island. The water consisted solely of the same blood affirmation in my encounter with the whistle. Corpses of Koopas and other enemies of Mario were scattered afloat near the shores. White menacing eyes glared at me between the waves, surfacing just to cast their evil glance at Mario. Or me, I can't be sure at this point. All of the worlds were indicated by their respective numbers, and all the dots were crimson. At that point, I noticed yet another abnormality. This time, concerning the dot for World 8. Besides it, there were 2 8-bit patches of fire that twisted and contorted in place. Without me pressing any buttons, the whistle stabbed Mario in the ribs. This cued him to move to the World 2 dot. Refusing to pay any further attention to the horrors that will surely await in the distorted desert, I saved the game and quit. I have played more than enough of my fill for today. I guess that I figured out the acronym for the ROM title meant Blood Whistle the hard way. Despite the horrors that plague this abomination, I will continue to subject myself to the suffering for the sake of all of you. Well, also for mine. It'll help me keep track of the days. Maybe this desperate attempt to cling to my stable frame of mind won't prove to be in total vain. There are 5,000 people that have followed this blog in the 2 days that it's been up. After this pointedly interesting post, I'm hoping to have some more. For those of you following my post, read tomorrow's and share with your friends. I need you to expose the stark alertness of this shell of something I once knew and loved.
Wow, this guy sounds like a pretentious asshole.
Dude,
I'm not
it's
even
so,
gonna lie.
it's so shit so far.
It's really bad.
He's
Like,
being overly
why?
dramatic about nothing. Nothing's happened. He's just seen some scary
literally,
imagery. And he's like, I want to kill myself. I'll embrace death with open arms. Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck?
At least the
dude?
grammar is
Chill the
right.
fuck
And he
out.
doesn't use like a bunch of pointless like vocabulary. But
At least it's used
Yeah.
correctly, but it's not needed.
it's not,
really
the very long and drawn out descriptions are not needed for what is essentially just this image.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Realistic blood.
Realistic blood.
It's always fucking blood, dude. Just come up with something more interesting than blood, please.
I know, have become.
Come.
Realistic come.
All right.
Realistic.
Who's going next? You space?
Alright, I'll go next. Alright. Well, I did it. I managed to clench the fickle fibers of my perception of reality. What the fuck? James, your thing's covering the. Can you send me the link to the story so I can read it? Because it's covering the. Because I'm reading it from your stream, so I can't see. Because your
Yeah, I'll send it to you, I'll send it to you.
expand. Alright, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it, Tony. Appreciate it. God, that. Oh man, I'm getting so nostalgic for. Oh my god, I feel like a kid again. Alright.
Yeah, I love the blood.
I love the blood. Alright, so what are we on June 7th, right?
Yeah,
No, we're on June we
Eighth.
just finished
June
June
8th.
7th.
we're on
June 8th, okay. June 8th. Well, I did it. I managed to clench the fickle fibers of my perception of reality. Perception of reality long enough to play through World 2. I have come to the conclusion that whoever made this is completely and utterly deranged. There's been a rusted gear or a broken spring in the mechanics of their sadistic mind. Their only purpose in creating this mod was to mentally and psychologically validate the naive soul poor enough to take the bait of its mysterious origin. Well, I'm certainly naive enough to fall into the category. I digress to the experience. I find myself
I
asking,
digress.
how could I digress. I'm sorry, I'm retarded. Anyways, I find myself asking how I could have I missed a major things like this yesterday. when I saved the game in this world. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Blood of the same texture from before was just as splattered across the desert sands as the sand itself was. Solitary eyes watched me from the pyramids. Pentagrams and other satanic symbols were also infrequent in the environment. Could this hack be the work of the Illuminati? Okay, enough pondering. I need to finish this grim tale. Skeletons of Koopas littered the bleak landscape. There was distinct disturbance with Mara's appearance, though. He looked starved and parched, as one would typically look after a few days in the desert. Mario then moved into the 2-1 block without my command, and the music began to play shortly after. This was a reserved version of the overworld theme. Whispers and other paranormal phenomena could be heard playing in harmony with the music, saying cryptic things. After about a minute, I began to record the sound. I'll upload it as soon as possible, but I know I definitely can't do it today. One of the most distinct things I keep hearing was let the whistle guide you, and the instrument of blood plays the sweetest tune. This creeped me out, needless to say, but this of all things wouldn't prevent me from playing out the remainder of this game. The stage itself was very scary. The sky was grayish blue, accompanied by an almost white sun. The colors weren't bright and cheery in the slightest. The pyramid's blocks were faded and cracked, and the wooden blocks were obviously rotting. Mario's sprite was visibly starving and pleading for thirst. The fire creatures fixedly stared at me like a shark stares at a school of fish, seeming to know who their next meal was. The natural expressions of the Koopas had changed into ones of covert disgust and loathe. I had obtained the raccoon by now, so I ran along the pipe-looking platform and took off. I flew for a little while, which was nice. Mario's face changed as well, being the normal happy smile you usually see throughout the entire game. I relished in the few moments of happiness I sought from this game. These moments were mercilessly ended within the course of a few seconds. The sky flashed a gloomy black before the blood whistle came and impaled the poor plumber yet again. Mario fell, his corpulent figure going limp until he hit the ground with a thump that I swore I could feel. He's mercifully alive, his body twitching in a feeble I can't say that word. Feeble attempt to rise. A fire created jumped on Mario, who was now pinned to the ground and screaming in pain. His scream was bitterly realistic. It reeked of such ineffable pain. Ineffable pain. It hurts me now to describe the sheer degree of torture this character was put through. There he was, burning and seething in pain, and there I sat completely powerless, forced to watch what I thought was the end of his trials on World 2. I was so wrong. The level select came into view, whistle through back. Mario was transported to one of the pyramid levels. When the level started, the background was an egregious, smoke-filled black burst of lightning filled the sky with illumination. Winged demons in flight were visible upon these strikes. What? Also in the skies glowed strange, stagnatically lit pentagrams and 666. Mario was being carried by two of Bowser's sons up one of the game's pyramid structures. However, this particular structure was vastly different from the other regular ones. The bricks were cracked and faded with age. The edges were jagged with dried blood caked each block. Nothing but a heavy drum beat and the sounds of the thunder played in the background. The thunder didn't play in unison with lightning, as happens in most games. There was an eerily realistic pause between the flare of the lightning and the boom of thunder. As the top of the structure was reached, I saw the worst thing yet. Bowser towered above everyone else, intimidating and terrible. Below stood 4 of his sons, 2 of which had carried Mario. Morton, Iggy, Ray, and Von Koopa. Above the entire scene were the words "Blood Whistle" in bright red neon letters. Bowser's face had to have been 10 times more evil than I had ever seen it. His green shell was cracked, and his white spines had dipped in blood. Blood was fresh in his teeth, also as his seraphinic tongue licked them, making clear his intentions on what to do with Mario after he had disposed of him.
I lost track of
It
where you're at,
was
but I'm
then
pretty sure it says Serpentine.
Serpentine, yeah. It was then I came to the dooming realization: Mario can't die. Alright, you guys take over. My throat is hurting me, bro. Jesus Christ, this is so long.
Where were you at? Mario can't die.
Yeah, Mario can't. Sudden.
Junior realization,
Hold on.
Mario can't die. Okay, I found it.
Mario can't die. Yep.
The game won't let him. However, many things are thrown at him. In however many ways he is brutally maimed, mortality will not escape him. For a time, that is. He will continue to be sustained by whatever dark force or sick mind that drives the rest of these occurrences to passing until the game's eventual end, in which he will ruefully and painfully perish. Now that that has been said, to continue today's experience. Suddenly, Von Koopa produced a dagger. It gleamed with an uncanny realism in the light of the blood whistle sign that loomed above ahead. After a brief pause, he began to slice Mario's chest open. Mario again brayed that fearful cry, a cry that implied he would die only to endure torture of 10 times the magnitude. Tears streamed down his face as Von removed his heart, still pumping. He handed it to Bowser, who ate it with a crunching chomp. His sons laughed as he did this, blood flowing from Mario's exposed abdomen. With a bark from their twisted father, the sons shamelessly began to regurgitate and tear apart what was open. As they were doing this, Mario slowly turned his head towards me and uttered a single question through tears and blood. Why? I myself asked the very same question. Why would they treat him as an animal, if not less, for their amusement? Why would someone initiate the genesis of such a horrid contraption? A contraption in which life and death have no meaning and are manipulates. Okay. A contraption in which concepts such as morals, remorse, and mercy are completely forgotten or foreign. It makes me shudder to think that there is someone sick enough out there to put a character through this kind of unbearable hell just to sit back and laugh. It makes me absolutely sick to my core. Oh, that reminds me of another thing. You're probably wondering as to why I complacently talk about Mario as if he's a human being. A human who suffers pain, sorrow, depression, starvation, and thirst like the rest of us. A human who is also capable of feeling happiness, remorse, goodwill, and love like anyone else. It's because I am thoroughly convinced that he is. Please, don't stop following this blog because you think I'm insane. That will come later. I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that inside this game is a character with a complex range of emotions. Someone who feels like you and me. But it's just a game, right? It's just a contrived mixture of code and data put together to present words and images, correct? Wrong. I know, with everything inside of me, that Mario has to be alive. I have seen him truly happy and truly sad. And at one point, I may have even seen him truly angry. He feels like any other living, breathing human being. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how something so human could rise from something so truly inhuman. A character with a soul seemed completely impossible to me before I played this hack. I now have a goal with this game, to keep this poor creature safe. I suppose I now know the real truth. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Okay. June 9th,
Why?
2012. It's me again. I had a horrible range of nightmares last night that are a direct result of playing this game. Some really weird stuff also went down. Before I get into today's gameplay, I'll have to go through them with you guys so we'll have an interactive record of my dreaming habits related to this game. I myself am having a hard time as to how they were so close to home, what they mean for my seemingly inevitable downfall. Before I tell this, I have to let you know a piece of relevant information. In the 4th grade, I used to play the recorder. Every kid had to learn some musical skill. I liked wind instruments because of their method of play, appearance, and sound. Such is the irony of the instrument that has caused me all this grief. In my dream, I was playing the instrument in a dark room. I was my 4th grade self, just coolly playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Out of nowhere, I began to cough. I choked on some blood that had materialized within and around my recorder. It covered it, and soon filled it. Blood began to pour in great quantity out of all the recorder's holes. It soon began to float in midair and hover. A few seconds passed. It struck me in the chest. It impaled me, going through my heart and every other vital artery one could think of. I woke up, the sheets plastered to my bare chest with sweat. I was completely fine, not a scratch on me. As I sat there in bed, afraid of how sure the game did this, or maybe it was me losing my sanity. I began to hear noise coming from my laptop. It was closed, but a faint muffled humming sound was clearly audible. I warily approached my computer. The machine was looking alive. I then opened it up. It was a picture of the Super Mario Bros. 3 raccoon Mario spray on a black backdrop. He was chained up by his legs and feet. The chains reached outside of the screen. The blood whistle sat as the centerpiece of it all through Mario's chest. The tune of the blood whistle played over and over, a loop that only exacerbated the sound within the walls of my psyche. I tried exiting out of whatever this program might have been, but the window wouldn't close. I eventually had to take out my laptop battery, which didn't sit too well with my OS. Luckily, I didn't lose any files. Now for the gameplay. I was on a weak imitation of the World 3 level map. The water was none other than blood. The ravenous fish jumped out of the water, looks of primal hunger on their faces. There was something off about Mario's map representation that I noticed right away. Along with the raccoon tail, the blood whistle was now a permanent fixture through his body. His skin had dulled a little from its prior shade of gray, now outwardly noticeable. His mustache now had lots of red clung to it as well. With or without my or Mario's control, needless to say, it was moved to the first underwater stage. A cherry red tint absorbed the entire screen. This was to be expected, as the water looked blood-ridden from the outside as well. I swam down to the left side of the level to get a fire mushroom. As soon as Mario got it, and his outfit changed, he got an evil simper on his face. He looked at me and said, "Revenge, yes." I confirmed his suspicions, and then we set off for the danger that lurked near. The fish cast malevolent gazes at Mario as he swam by, incinerating them. His normal happy smile returned. So did mine. The annihilation of the carnivorous critters didn't last long before Mario and I faced a hellish dilemma. There was a large fish with rows of razor-sharp teeth. Below him were 2 power-up blocks, one black-looking, one purple-looking. I assumed that they were supposed to mean red and blue. Obviously, there was no progress from this point without finding out what these blocks had in store. Mario's expression changed back into its gaunt appearance that he had had for the majority of the game. Knowing I had no other choice, I dauntingly hit the block that was black in appearance on the left. The fish swam around from its position and on top of us, began to tear off Mario's limbs. By this time, a group of fish had congregated around the entire scene. The laughs grew deep and short, registering as barks for the 8-bit sound processor. Mario's unable body wobbled as he bled out, spewing black across the red. When he finally died, the big fish began to laugh. After a couple seconds, Mario's limbs regrew, with the blue block remaining. I hit it to get it all over with. Bubbles stopped coming from Mario's mouth. He cried out for help that only made his problem worse. He sucked in tons of water. his hands around his neck. His face began to grow from gray to blue in a matter of seconds. He kicked up and fought, but he only wore himself down. Getting angry, he began to incinerate random fish that had gathered in the crowd. The fish began to laugh louder. For every fish he killed, 2 more appeared in his place. After a while, he just gave up. I watched as Mario uttered his last gurgle on World 3, the blood whistle stabbing and taking him away. I saved and quit with haste. See you all tomorrow.
Alright, what day are we on right now?
June 10th,
June 10th.
2012.
Are you gonna read it or do you want me to read it?
You can read it.
Okay. June 10th, 2012. Campus police gave me a visit today. Apparently, one of you had reported my comments related to suicide and claimed I was insane. As a result, I have eliminated all personal information from this blog. Yeah, right. I located the person who reported me and banned him. I also have an IP tracker, so don't any of you try that. Speaking of followers, 50,000? I never expected this page to accumulate this many active viewers. Wherever this popularity or notoriety came from, I am grateful. Now for today's gameplay. After today, I'll be lucky to finish the game. Let me turn this fan off. Princess Toadstool's letter appeared after the previous screen from World 3 faded out. She was squirming and shifting around. Bowser's hand covered her mouth and nose, but it was easy to see the fear in her eyes. They darted left and right in stark, true fear. Bowser continued to have that sadistic smile on his face as he struggled with her. After about a minute and a half, Peach began to change. Her eyes grew an ominous red. Ominous read. As she pushed Bowser's arms away with inhuman strength. She cackled like a loon, blue veins bulging so noticeably that they were clearly visible through her white satin gloves. Bowser then began to cower in timidity. The text on the letter said only this: blood whistle, hear its cry. Peach. Sorry, my throat. The letter scene was abruptly cut off, and the World 4 level select map was brought into view. Goombas and Koopas of all sizes appeared, furious and hungry as ever. This addition made sense. This was the giant tiny world. The shown enemies would be diminished as such, or dimensioned as such. The normally green grass was withered and dead. The small patches of water were blood. More still was in the fireball fatigues that he had donned in World 3. When compared the other worlds, the map view for this one was vastly disturbing. I would go as far as to call this tolerable. Vastly less disturbing. I would go as far as to call this tolerable. Mario moved towards 4-1 into whatever nightmarish scenario the stage had to offer. This stage had the usual kinks of any level in this game. The sky was black, which made the white clouds vibrantly contrast. A reverse version of the ground level once again played. The wood, as it had been before, was decaying and wasting away beneath Mario's feet. The pipes were faded and cracked in various places. All of the enemies still possessed the same carnivorous looks of their inter-game counterparts. There was, oddly enough, a startling abundance of them. Koopas and Goombas danced around in a ritualistic manner. Mario was visibly petrified as he tried to avoid them. My arrow keeps keeping them from inching away. Oh, no, my bad. My arrow keeps keeping them inches away from his life. Amidst all of the den, there hovered a solitary power-up block. It was regular in appearance. Nothing was outwardly off about this, which greatly surprised me. Not knowing what horrid item it contained, I bumped into it in blind vain. That maybe it could help me. You can most likely infer from the information I made in the preceding paragraph that I was completely mistaken. What appeared next is what I dreaded. The damn whistle. It was sitting there, blood washed over it, as if rose from the yellow square. Cube, but whatever. It sat there, almost beckoning my name. With the imposing enemies, I knew I had no other choice. I took the weapon from its place, fruitlessly hoping for the best, readily expecting the worst. The on-screen foes ceased all activity, and their faces returned to a neutral blank state. 5 minutes they stood in place like this, not moving a muscle. I jumped around and tried to kill them, but to no avail. It's almost as if they were frozen within the confines of time itself, as if for specifically them, all interstellar and physical continuity came to a careening halt. Then they began to move. After the first couple did it, I realized what truly was going on. This was a mass suicide. Most of them just jumped in the nearest hole, but others performed incredible feats of acrobatics and medical possibilities.
What?
Oh, okay. One Koopa was bashing his head in on a pipe. Another Goomba jumped 6 or 7 times as his own height turned around in the air and sent blood flying everywhere with a great splat. Soon all of the enemies were dead. Their remains were spontaneously upchucked from the trench below. A grisly mixture of guts and gore littered the entire remainder of the level. Mario shuffled through the remains, horrified with tears streaming on his face throughout. Random, deep, bassy tones played with nothing else to accompany. Realistic squishy sounds were emitted every time Mario took a step in the scattered carnage. He continued to cry for the duration of the level. The whistle faded into view and followed Mario a few inches above his head, like a pestilential virus. After he cleared it, of course, the whistle went straight through his chest as Mario was headed to World 5. The game has a habit of putting me where it needs me to be, so I closed the window without saving. Witnessing all that death really racked my nerves. Sure, it might be a game. With the things this game has had to present to me, I'm starting to lose my perception of reality. Starting to wonder to myself what is real and what is inside of the computer. These two things are quickly fusing into one. The lines, they're blurring. Pretty soon, the days will start fading together, and by then, I'll have lost all sense of reality. I hope to see you all tomorrow. I don't know how much longer I can put up with this game. No, it's not a game. I couldn't tell you what this is.
Whoa, overdramatic much?
Right?
Is it, are we in June 10th? No, we're in June 11th, aren't we?
June 11th,
There
yeah.
we go.
June 11th, alright. Today being D-Day fits because... the fuck? Okay. Today being D-Day fits because I'm fighting one hell of a war against this game, and I'm losing one at that. At least there are no more mishaps with you all so far, which puts me at rest. As of today's gameplay, I fear for my own life. I feel as if something is coming after me, lurking, seeking me out as to make immediate my demise. Never before has anything like this ever happened. Never before has anything electronic made me truly afraid, truly scared. I most likely will get no sleep tonight. Nothing particular occurred. It's just you'll find out now below. I was in the middle of the cloud portion of World 5. The Sky theme played, except it was drastically slow and demonic. Whispers were clearly audible. The whispers were almost the same as the ones I heard back in World 2. Mario was outfitted with a Tanuki suit, which naturally suited the environment. There was nothing there except two things: a red dot and a card game. The card game icon looking similar even though it's regular game clone, except the shape The spades rolled across the red background instead of a blue one. Now, for whatever reason, I was allowed to choose which path to take. I chose to do the card game, hoping it would serve as some sort of reprieve from all the madness. That was not the right choice. Toad didn't explain the rules of the game like normal. Instead, I was plunged into the rolling slots. Beside the slots was a risky scenario. Toad was on a guillotine. He looked at the camera with timid, teary eyes. He also was vigorously shaking his head. She shook his hands in a futile effort to free himself from this appalling apparatus, but nothing came of it. The entire picture engulfed me so much I didn't even notice the slots. I cautiously pressed them, trying the best I could to line them up given the stress of the situation. I failed and had to pay the personal price. The blade fell with breathtaking speed. Toad was beheaded right then and there. His head did a couple of spins in the air before landing in a conveniently placed nearby basket. The initial spins flayed blood across the white room. Blood filled the basket and filled it up. Toad's body sprayed blood from the stump where his head used to be. Out of nowhere, the blood whistle came down and struck his torso. The scene faded out and back to the map. I was moved to only remaining destination in World 5. Silent lightning striked across the licorice black sky. Gray clouds and Mario were the only other constantly visible things as far as everything goes. Silhouettes of winged demons flew and danced in the background. I tried turning it into the stone structure Tanuki suit is so famous for, but it failed. No music at all played. None at all. The demons would be heard whispering in what sounded like a variety of languages. Spanish, German, and Latin were the most prevalent ones. A primal fear of the unknown gripped me as I blindly navigated the level. Oh yeah, be scared of languages, motherfucker. Yeah, okay. Anyways, judging by the look on Mario's face, it plagued him also. This stemmed from childhood, which made it all the worse. I not only felt like Mario was in danger, I felt like my livelihood and well-being were in danger. At that moment, one of the demons swooped down. I would say the most accurate way to describe this creature would be a miniature Cthulhu. Its claws plucked out Mario's eyes, making them profusely bleed. He unleashed an immeasurable, I don't know how to say it, yet bone-chilling cry. After the searing pain relented, Mario trudged on. His face was now void of any and all expression. It was because he knew, as well as I did, that he would be torn apart, brutally and slowly, but it wouldn't happen. But it would happen. After a few more seconds, the second demon came. It was identical in appearance to the first. It swooped down with the grim black bat wings and did its portion of damage. After it was said and done, the thing... Hold on. Where's Mario's arms. Black bat wings did damage. After it said and done, the thing had torn Mario's arm off. Mario stopped, dead in his tracks. He sobbed loudly, knowing the worst was yet to come. I felt so sorry for him that the words escaped me. He continued with a morose look. His normal walk slowed to a shuffle. Not a few seconds after that, the final solitary specter came down. He did his work with one big slash. Mario was now without his legs, and his lump of a body sat there. He sadly wept in utter despair. He knew the end was near. He turned to me and choked this out. I'm sorry you had to witness this. Everything. These were his last spoken words on World 5 before a gaggle of Hell's minions descended and tore apart what remained of him. His Eternals were liberally exposed, as they were regulated in their wolf feast. When the dust cleared, a mere shell of him remained. All you could see of this open stomach were his open spine and his back muscles, as I had predicted. The blood whistle came to transport him into whatever hellish situation is contemplated.
Contemplated.
Contemplated would be worse than the last. Consider it sheer luck. If I make another post tomorrow, if I do, it will be my last.
This is like the fourth one in a row that he's like, I don't know if I'll be able to post tomorrow.
Jeez.
And then he posts tomorrow.
Alright.
Lol.
Okay. I'm starting to not care anymore. I'm in the throes of such a severe depression that's all starting to fade away. Everything. School, friends, family. It's safe to say this game is single-handedly ruining my life. Such sadness has never become me ever before in my life. The grandfather died when I was young, but that didn't close to equate to what I'm feeling now. It's a direct result of the level that I played today, which I will get into right now. World 6 appeared. Ice was everywhere. This was the one part that correlated to the unaltered version. Nothing else did. The ice was none other than frozen, realistic blood. Crystallized pieces of crimson droplets bordered the ice blocks. Blood filled in the small pockets of water that were. Of course, there was only a solitary dot on the map. Mario entered it, and I knew that whatever was to pass, it would be tenfold of what had already happened. Pure, sable white was the only thing that constituted of the backdrop. Blocks of blood ice served as slippery ground. Mario slid along as I controlled him. He appeared happy, overjoyed might be more accurate. Here he had nothing to deal with, just him in the open space. 5 minutes passed, then 10. All the way through, Mario was happy. As I let him run around and fly, he had regained the raccoon tail. It seemed like he had all the time in the world. The clock ticked and ticked, and all seemed right in the game. Making my way through the level, I found out it had no end. Time, oddly enough, would turn out to be the ultimate enemy. At the 20-minute mark, a tempest began to pick up. A flurry of snow and wind ensnared Mario, and he now began to curl his tail. His teeth chattered and his body shook. He soon had to sit down. Mario and I soon figured out how the game planned to snuff him out this time. With ice and time, he sat and tried to heat himself. This, needless to say, was a less than feeble attempt. Nothing but the creepy bass beats from World 5 played. Mario's skin soon begun to turn a light blue. Nevertheless, he still sat and brooded in the icy cold. It was then that the utmost feeling of sadness had encapsulated me. I couldn't fathom my sympathy. I couldn't begin to describe how bad it felt at the fact that his death was absolutely inevitable, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Just simply watch in shock and dejected awe. Frostbite soon took his hands. 10 minutes after that, World 6 Mario was no more. Just a frozen block of a man sitting there in the middle of an infinite winter wilderness. After the sadness came feelings of sheer loneliness. I felt abandoned and alone, just like Mario sitting in the middle of that ice field. I felt as if no one would save me from the torture of this game. The blood whistle came down and made a chunk sound as it impaled his chest, taking him to the next level of hell. I closed the emulator window like always and ended the self-subjected torture. I will bring myself to play this game tomorrow, but mark my words, I'll play the last tomorrow, and this blog will hopefully live on in my memory, so my tribulation can be seen by the world. Be here, same place, same time.
all commit suicide
So-
because of game.
So
Bad.
you changed to the chills voice, bro.
What? That's what you were going for?
I wasn't trying to do chills. I was trying to just do like a generic reader, like intense reader voice.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going for, so I tried to see if I could match it.
I wasn't trying to go for
Wait,
chills.
wait,
If you
how-
want me to do chills, I could do chills.
I mean,
Wait,
you don't
should
have
I
to.
go-
I
try to
thought
go
that's
for
what
it?
you were trying to do, so I tried to do it also. But if you want,
I mean,
you
it was
can
still
do
really
it.
funny, dude.
It was.
The fucking was it shit. I started to not care anymore. Shit.
Something broke in me and something snapped.
There was one part at the start that was really good. They
What
could
part?
not crystallized pieces of crimson droplets border the ice blocks. Just the way you were saying it was really good. Oh,
Wait,
that's
who?
funny. Alright, okay. June 13th, 2012 is ironic indeed that today is June the 13th. The unlucky number, the unlucky day. I suppose today isn't completely horrible. Today is the last day I had to play this wretched game. This horrifyingly absurd remake of what I used to see as a wonderful game will soon be out of my life. Along with everything else. With this being the last post, I suppose I can finally be honest about my true intentions ever since I finished World 2. I'm going to take my own life. This game has caused me sorrow on such an ineffable level that there is no other option. Life will never be the same. Mom and Dad, I love you. Michael. And Kelsey. You guys be good. Listen to Mom and Dad. They have a lot of valuable lessons to teach you. Lessons that I learned but can now never apply again. Now, for what you 75,000 followers read this post for, the rest of the game. Hell itself is what the game brought me to. I suppose that this was intentioned to convey World 8. No, not hell. Worse than hell. Bodies were chained up in the background, enduring a myriad of tortures. The only pain wasn't strictly felt from injuries, though. The coughs, dying wheezes, and vomiting in the background reeked of pestilence and suffering. Fires emblazoned certain people as well. The flames had an actual burning quality to them, not like regular 8-bit fire. Flesh, eyes, and other internal organs and tissue constituted the walls and ground. If the hell I'm certainly going to exists. If the hell I'm certainly going to exists, I think it looks something like this. Mario stood before a possessed Princess Toadstool. Her dress was ripped in several places and splattered with blood. Her eyes gleamed red, the flames casting an evilly maniacal allure to her appearance. Allure, buddy? Whatever. Bowser and his 6 sons were tied to wooden poles with terrified looks on their faces. Wendy, for some reason, didn't appear anywhere in this game. In one hand, Peach brandished a sizable dagger, in the other, the blood whistle. She walked over to Bowser and looked him in the eyes. Technically, limitations slightly hindered the interpretation of what events passed, but it was easy enough to understand what was going on. Through his gag, Bowser pleaded with her not to harm him. She brought the knife close to him and he froze up. He was obviously paralyzed with fear. Her mouth got close to his ear and text rolled along the bottom of the screen, conveying the text of what played out given the sound limitations. This is what enabled Mario to speak in the past. Shh, she whispered. Bowser's innards spilled onto the floor in a great heap. He let out a monstrous 8-bit roar of pain as this happened. Peach laughed. Her red eyes reflected whatever evil had possessed her. The princess proceeded to eviscerate all 6 of his other sons. Mario did nothing but look on in horror as his mortal enemies were torn apart by a woman he had once loved very much. His face soon contorted into one of loathing. He had come all this way to find out the very girl he wished to save had been taken over by an extraterrestrial evil. An evil that would not only haunt Mario, but me as well. A sort of evil that doesn't go away when you turn off the game. The kind of dark force that follows you to your bed chambers and steals your soul. Princess Toadstool paused for a couple seconds, then came at Mario with a knife. "Hey there, Mario," she said as she toyed with the knife. "You got a little sharp with me, so I pushed him over the edge." Hehehe. I tried to move Mario, but nothing happened. He stood there, afraid of what she would do. She brutally slashed open his arms, legs, and abdomen. Shortly thereafter, the princess produced some salt from her billowing dress and sprinkled it all over him. He screamed again, unmoving. Princess Peach you used to know is long gone. The power of the blood whistle consumed that girl and made way for me. Speaking of which, she continued as she produced the blood whistle. "Here it is. Hear its cry." With a mocking kiss on the cheek, she began to play Mario the perverse song of the blood whistle. Its notes rotted away the last reserve of good in me. He was heaved by an invisible force into the flames. He cried out as they consumed him. Peach chucked the whistle, making it strike him directly in the heart. He continued to wallow in utter anguish as she walked away. As she laughed, he looked into my eyes and bore me this parting message via the text at the bottom of the screen. Do not let your life be as painful as mine was. I do not hold reservations against you, as you tried your best to keep me alive. I commend you for that. Goodbye, Bradley, and good luck. The tune of the whistle continued to play as the screen panned out of Mario's hell. How he knew my name is Bradley continues to befuddle me. That was the worst word you could have used, buddy. How he could have such depth, such personality. I don't know whether this is a result of the game being as haunted as it truly is, or the fact that someone could have captured inside of this ROM. Whatever the reason of everything that has come to pass with this abomination, I'm glad I'm finally done. I've made all of my goodbyes at the beginning of this post. I hope one of you takes the time to save this blog, or at the very least, to show the world the true hell I have put myself through. I sure hope that the demented creator of this game isn't festering in the same hell I'm headed for. Goodbye, everyone. Aftermath. This blog was the last recorded statement of Bradley before his death. His roommate discovered him 4 hours after he had made the last post. Bradley committed suicide using a recorder that he plugged through his trachea. Plunged through his trachea. Oh no. No, there's videos, dude.
No, it's probably just ROM hacks. Really shitty ROM hacks. Oh, I'm good.
Blood whistle shit pastas, dude.
Dude, I think Space fell asleep.
No way.
He's gone. But I think he fell asleep.
No way. This.
Is it a reading or is it actual like a ROM hack? I think it's a reading.
No, it's a ROM hack.
Hello and welcome
No, it's
to
a
another
reading
edition.
because it's just a little screenshot that was already with the story. See, it's the rest of the game, and then there's the screenshots.
All right, tell you what. There's 4 Super Mario Brothers 3 ones. There's Super Mario Brothers 3.
Sure.
That's there's Under.
Hear its cry.
Oh, that was terrible. I hate that one so much.
This guy was playing the same music.
Yeah, that's Mudahar right there. Subordinary Gamers. That's where I got the music from him.
Shekalo Devil 601. It's a re-upload. I think I've watched Mudahar's video actually. I recognize that thumbnail at least. All right. Let's get what's an actually kind of good one?
You could do My Buddy Sandman. That one's a good one.
Did you say there was a Mario one that was actually kind of good?
Oh, it's called I Hate You, Mario. You can look that one
I hate you, Mario.
up. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, let's do that one. Troll Pasta Wiki.
Yeah, it's considered for some reason to be a troll pasta, even though it's really fucking good.
Probably because it was made as a joke. But it was better than it. The Blood Whistle actually wasn't that bad. It was just the constant like talk about I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
That was kind of fucking lame. Kind of broad. If
Guys,
he hadn't like interjected his own thoughts about what was happening in, it would have perfectly encapsulated the creepiness.
Guys, but you're not ready. You're not ready. I'm gonna kill myself. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. Wait, this one's on. This one's actually pretty good.
This one is very good. All right.
It's on the regular creepypasta board. Okay. I hate you, bad creepypasta story.
I know.
It's actually the title.
No, it's just called I Hate You.
I hate you.
Yeah. All right. So, let's start this.
Okay. This isn't one of those haunted game stories. At no point are you going to hear me claim something within the game spoke to me, reacted to my words, or forced me to punch myself repeatedly in the face. No, this isn't about a haunted game or a game doing something impossible or even something I shouldn't have. This isn't about a glitch or a hidden satanic message, and at no time did I phone Nintendo headquarters only to have my questions answered with hushed whispers or anguished screams. This story is about a game feature I don't think anyone else has unlocked. That's it. Alright, go ahead.
Okay. No ghosts, no conspiracies, just a secret we were all supposed to find, but never did. Something that changes an entire generation's childhood and the very essence of a multi-billion-dollar franchise. This is what I assume to be a previously undiscovered alternate ending of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. In 1996, I received my first computer as a birthday gift. I had been on the internet before and had used computers before, but it had always been in a school or a friend's house. This one was mine. All mine. I explored the crude prehistoric web of the time with great interest. I downloaded all sorts of pornography and even printed it out, which made absolutely no sense. I also pirated media like a madman. Music, games, anything. This was where I first discovered Mario World. I had never had a Super Nintendo as a little kid, so it was all new to me. I had downloaded tons of games along with the SNES emulator, but Mario World was my favorite. For over a decade, the same Mario World romp was my time-wasting hobby. I played it over and over again, beating the game faster and faster until I began to lazily explore the worlds with no particular purpose. Alright, you go ahead.
Okay. Game Genie codes helped immensely. I could turn off the timer and relive a particularly entertaining map for an hour as I waited for a download or any number of boring events. It was in this manner that I must have beaten and rebeaten the game thousands upon thousands of times. There was comfort in the obsessive compulsive behavior of this routine. Well, all this was shattered when I saw the blind boo. The blind boo, as I referred to it, was hovering over the exit from the haunted sunken ship level later on in the game. I call it blind because it actually had no visible eyes. It was like someone had made a lazy ROM hack. But I knew, from years upon years of experience, that this was a normal game. The blind boo just hung there over the exit pipe, blocking it. I turned my back on it, but it didn't chase me. How could it? It didn't even see me. Then I noticed something else out of sorts. There you go.
There was a key and keyhole misplaced above the exit. Keys and keyholes are ways of ending a level in an alternate manner and discovering a secret area. Still, this didn't belong here, and I knew it. For a moment, I considered the fact I had actually broken a ROM file from overuse. After taking a screenshot just to show all you Mario Bros fans out there, I picked up the key and opened the door, figuring the game would seize up and have to restart. Instead, it opened up a new path on the map selection screen. A whirlpool next to Bowser's already creepy head cave thing. I pressed the right arrow and moved into the whirling drain. Oh god, no. This didn't really strike me as odd, because if you're familiar with the Mario World game, there's an area called Star Road that you may know has similar names. Just stuff like tubular and awesome, and all manner of dumb words and phrases. Most of the areas were called Vanilla Forest 1 and Donut Mountain 3 and all of that. But there were maps with odd names like that. What did concern me, though, was Mario's expression. Surprise? Shock? Fear? I entered the map.
Okay. Oddly enough, the whirlpool in the middle of a lake began with the standard castle entry animation. Mario walked up to the castle door, looked up, and then went in. I could tell it was underwater, though, because of the bubbles that periodically emerged from the sprite's mouth and floated to the top of the screen. Inside the castle, I started to look more and more like I was, in fact, experiencing a glitch. There was no room to jump, no room to do anything but run left and right. I must have gone right for 10 to 20 minutes, just holding the B button and running along at full speed. After a while, I ran into 1 or 2 blind boos in the darkness above, then 3 or 4. Then the screen was full of them. They just kind of hung there, doing nothing. They wouldn't chase me if I turned my back, as with the previous blind boo. If I made any noise like Mario's jump sound, they would kind of shudder a bit, like they had heard the sound of Mario's movements, but they couldn't do anything about it. Then something made me stop and turn the other way. Go ahead.
Now I knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this map was designed specifically to screw with the player. Not because the giant bleeding bill was hemorrhaging profusely from its face, but because it was inescapable. There was literally no way to avoid being killed by it, as you can clearly see above. That is, unless you're like me and have the Game Genie cheats on hand. I switched on the code for permanent invincibility. I let the bleeding bill chase me for a while when I was invincible, just to get a good look at the thing. I stopped and killed it with my invulnerable touch, only when I saw a message that hadn't been there when I'd passed before. I hate you. That kind of creeped me out. But on the other hand, it was kind of interesting because it meant that this was definitely a map that was supposed to exist. There was some sort of plot element here. Something undiscovered. What did it mean? Who hated me? King Koopa seemed the obvious answer. Or maybe just the ghosts. When you're in a haunted castle that you found by the way of a haunted ship, a bloody-looking hate message isn't so unbelievable. I saw it again as I approached some giant boos. Alright, go ahead.
I was thankful that the blind boos ended at this point, because the more I watched them shudder, the uneasier I felt. Almost empathetic towards them, etc. The thankfulness ended when I turned my back on the giant boos and this happened. Giant boos with faces I hadn't seen before. They always looked mad at being awakened, angry that you were invading their haunted house across the Mario World Island. This was different, and they looked gleeful, demented. I could see right down their throats, which seemed odd given the lack of detail their mouths usually displayed. And yes, of course, I'm going to address that message you saw in the picture. Why won't you die? I don't know why. Am I supposed to? Who's asking? I let the giant boos touch me, and they died. Like the bleeding bills, of which I had encountered 2. Despite any attempt to scare the player, I knew that being invincible meant invincible, no matter what they threw at me. After a while of running down the strange claustrophobic corridor with no eventful happenings, I came to a room with an exit pipe. I'd taken the pipe downward. I came up the other and dropped into a room filled with water. The water made sense, this being a sunken castle beneath a whirlpool and all. I was rewarded for my troubles with a question mark block that released a mushroom for me. I could have easily done this with a Chico, but the thought had escaped me as I faced all these new and strange sights. The first creatures I encountered in the underwater portion of this castle were thwomps. Unless you've been living under a rock since the mid-80s, you know thwomps are stone-like square creatures that hang from the ceilings and fall when you come near. Try to crush you, essentially. Well, these thwomps lined up in a tight row, dropped repeatedly and randomly with no real trigger to any sense of logic. They just wait or drop whenever they seem to feel like it. It also looked like these swamps had been very successful thwomps. Okay.
More cartoony blood. This was getting pretty unusual for the Mario Bros. Franchise, which I hadn't recalled seeing blood in at all. Now that I had seen it used 3 times, the bloody bills, the messages, and these perpetually smashing, grinding throps who were working their victims, whoever they were, into pulp, forever. And the hampering effects of the water, I walked slowly under these things, making sure every single one of them touched me and died. There were almost 30 of them in a row. The sight of them mindlessly crushing over and over just made me hate them with an unsettling intensity. What's weird is the blood caused Mario to slide, as if he were on an ice level. After walking through that gauntlet of depravity, I swam into a more open area that was filled with spikes on the floor and ceiling. It was difficult to swim in this manner without touching the spikes, but since I was still invincible, I didn't think much of it. I avoided them more out of fun, more than any sense I'd be damaged. It stopped being fun really fast, though.
Now I knew some of what was going on. The bloody mess that the props were unendingly splattering. It was other Marios, past Marios that had tried to traverse his level and failed. I had to admit this was an excellent touch, even if it was a bit ghoulish. Whoever had designed the map actually broke the fourth wall and showed you the bloated, motionless abortions of the player's own careless treatment of Mario's tiny life. The bodies only floated straight up and down a little bit, a tiny bit, as if to show the effects of a light current. It was genius, and I couldn't believe I might be the first and only person to ever see this. I toyed with the idea of taking more than the one screenshot I just presented to you, basically so all of you reading this could enjoy the secret map as much as I had, especially the weird little touch. But
Without swimming, without kicking or moving in any way, the dead Mario started to come at me like torpedoes. Their faces remained blank, blue, and dead, but they moved with astounding speed. They angled and positioned and worked all sorts of unique trajectories that led me almost nowhere to move. They continued coming at me, swarming and backing up to try again. I just couldn't bring myself to let them touch me. I moved with more speed and skill than I had ever exerted, frantically trying to keep Mario free of the drowning victims that seemed dead set on rocketing straight into him. When I finally reached the purple exit pipe you see above, there had to be at least 10 of those things behind, pitching, turning, chasing me. I entered the pipe as fast as I could, thankful that it worked properly and had Mario out of that situation in a heartbeat. The corridor that had followed was empty, thankfully. It was just a blue underwater hallway of sorts with nothing to avoid or kill. It was boring and predictable, like the game had been all these years, which brought back a sense of safety. At the end of the hallway, it came to the standard pair of doors you'd enter to face the final boss. Besides the doorway, a mushroom power-up. I didn't touch that shit.
I didn't touch that shit. That's pretty good.
Wait, are we supposed to be reading Blood Whistle? Wait.
No, we finished
Wait.
Blood Whistle.
Huh? How long
Yeah.
We're on I Hate You, dude.
Yeah, we're on I Hate You, Mario.
Dude, the fuck.
I didn't touch that shit.
I didn't touch
What the
that shit.
fuck? Did I? Nah. Okay, after you're done with the story, Flavie, what the fuck happened in Blood Whistle ending?
It ended exactly how you expected, dude.
Dude
Mario
killed himself. That's it.
Mario got like fucking killed by Peach after she murdered like Bowser and his kids, and then the reader was like, "I'm done with this," and he killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cliche.
that's it. That also, I fell asleep for a reason.
He killed himself, or he killed himself with a bloodied recorder he had stabbed through his trachea. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't touch that shit. Going through the
I didn't touch
door
that
was
shit.
as you expect. The typical change of map views occurred, and Mario was standing on the ubiquitous bridge over boiling lava. Or had it been blood all along? When Mario walked out onto the bridge, however, there was no boss creature. Instead, Mario immediately looked to the side and froze. I couldn't control him anymore. He just stood there.
Keep looking
look-
until you see it. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Oh, you can keep reading.
Okay. Keep looking until you see it. I didn't even see it at first, so I don't expect you to notice it right away. If you still haven't spotted the thing, look into the third window from the left. FYI, that's not usually there. Mario seemed to regain his composure and looked back and forth slowly, surveying the room. There was still no boss, and I still couldn't control him, so I stopped trying and just watched. This went on and on for what seemed like forever. Nothing happened. Then a familiar face walked in from the right, dressed in green, tall and angry. It was Luigi. Mario recoiled in horror. It's difficult to say that without thinking how crazy it sounds, but Mario really reeled back with a sort of terror that was uncharacteristic for such a peppy, happy-go-lucky mascot like him. Then, Luigi spoke.
You thought Koopa worked alone. It was all connecting now. The message scrawled on the walls. I hate you, and why won't you die? It's Luigi. He's always been Mario's second banana. The player too. The one who doesn't get the princess in these early games. No matter how identical he is to Mario in skill set and ability, and tenaciousness and bravery, at the end of the day, the game is Super Mario Brothers, and he's just the brother. How he must have hated Mario. Who among us wouldn't? Think about it. No matter what happens, Mario always comes back. No matter how many corpses he leaves littering the battlefield, he's always there once more to leap and cheer and get all the adoration. And Koopa hadn't worked alone? I didn't know what that meant at first, if anything. But again, you just have to think it through. How exactly does King Koopa consistently succeed in kidnapping the princess? From day one, from the original Mario Bros. Onward, it had always been an inside job. Still, unable to control the character, I watched Mario simply cower in fear as Luigi leapt high into the air. As high as he could in Mario 2, the bastard child of the franchise. He jumped on the pathetic weeping Mario again and again. I was powerless to stop it. When he was done, he seemed to look at Mario's limp body with his overwhelming rage. Then the bridge started to disappear. Soon Mario would be dead. As I looked on, I had an irrational thought. Would it be permanent? Oh God, no.
Within an instant, as Luigi turned to seemingly strike a victory pose, like he had beaten the level, Mario awkwardly got to his feet and took him by surprise. Fear and sadness and confusion had given way to anger, and Mario overpowered his little brother with little effort. To this day, I'm still haunted by that final result of his wrathful reprisal.
Oh,
There was the
God.
map's title. None of this was a glitch. None of it was a mistake. It wasn't a developer getting back at Nintendo, and it wasn't a ghost hunting a Nintendo cart. It was a planned, purposeful part of the Mario Brothers mythos. If you beat the same level X number of times, a secret part of the world opened, and you learned that from Mario Brothers through Mario Land, Luigi had secretly been working against you and was in fact facilitating the repeated abduction and abuse of the princess. But why? Money? Power? No. It was all there. Because he couldn't take not being the one in the spotlight. Not being Mario himself. After Luigi died, well and truly died, Mario just sat on the edge of the bridge and wept.
I was forced to watch this for minutes on end before the screen faded to black. I played the rest of the game through to see if anything changed. Nothing else odd happened, as one would expect, since this whole ordeal was just supposed to be part of the actual full story. I couldn't access the whirlpool again. I'd seen the events once, and that was all I was apparently allowed. It was back to the game as usual, the same exact game I had played since the 90s, and would probably continue to play for the rest of my days. Well, it was the same except for the final image. The end. And that's it.
That is it.
What is this?
No idea.
What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Wow, bro. Wow. I hate you, Luigi. That one's actually probably one of the better ones. 100%.
That one is probably one of my favorites. I love that story. And that the final image of the game is legitimately creepy.
It's
No,
not
it actually
super.
is.
It's not super creepy or unsettling.
It's unsettling. It's unsettling though.
It's not super creepy or unsettling, but it definitely does a lot more as far as, you know, visualization. And,
And
you
it's-
know,
it's
well,
very-
engagement. I at least stayed engaged with that story. Like, I wanted to finish that one. It was pretty good. And the imagery isn't like cheap Photoshop either. Like, they actually tried to make it look like realistic sprite work.
There actually is a ROM hack that you can apply.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they can play.
The ROM hack is real.
Which is fucking cool. I do like the end screen though, where like you got bloodied Luigi, and then
Yeah.
Peach crying and Mario angry. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the names Oh God Why and I Hate You. Damn Luigi, what's going on, bro? How long was I asleep for?
He
When did
says,
you guys
he
finish?
says, "Oh God, no," when he fucking dies in the lava. You were asleep for maybe 30 minutes at most. You didn't miss much.
Oh,
All right, let's get
that's
another.
definitely like
Let's get another video game creepypasta in here.
No.
Alright.
I'm trying to think of a good one. You do.
I have
we can do-
one.
It's got to
what
be
is
like
it?
unfathomably bad so that it's funny, or an actual good one.
Sally.exe.
No.
Yeah, that one is
course,
pretty
man.
bad.
Of course, mans go straight to Sonic creepypastas.
Of course. I'm trying to think of the vault, man. What ones did I remember?
I was gonna say My Buddy Sandman. That one's a really good one.
We can do that one.
Let's see.
I
It's a
hate you,
subordinate games wiki.
Mario. This one's not nearly as creepy as it used to be. I think I prefer the ROM hack over the actual
Yeah.
story, because it conveys the sense of fear a lot better.
Fuck.
This dude.
Look at this dude.
Got a 4 stack of cans now.
Let's go. Oh, not in my ear.
Alright, I'll probably stay for one more story, and then we'll probably go to bed after that. Are you choking on a cock? What the fuck is going on?
Doing ASMR, dude. I don't know what to do. I believe. Oh shit, My Buddy Sandman. There it is.
Yeah, I DM'd it to you.
Let's say I'm waiting for creepypasta to show up, but he did it. All right, here we go. My Buddy Sandman introduction. I knew that was gonna happen. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. My Buddy Sandman. In the early 90s, when I was attending Penn State University, I knew a man named Sandman Archibald Bundeford. Yes, that was his honest to God, real life, on the birth certificate, on the driver's license, stitched in his underwear birth name. I thought the names that celebrities were giving to their children these days were awful, but this kid had a stupid name before stupid names were a click or a chick. I always figured his parents were flower children and named him while on some kind of acid trip. True. In any case, Sandman and I had a freshman composition class together and would occasionally kill time in the library. He was a nice guy, 17 years old if I remember correctly, mulatto. I'm a mean mixed race, shy but friendly, and always carried around the biggest laptop computer you would ever want to see. At that time, it was pretty impressive to see someone with what was considered to be a portable computer. I would sometimes see him with his nose to the LCD screen analyzing some code, or scrutinizing the pixels of some image he was trying to edit. Sandman hung around with some other older students who were either interested in or taking classes in computer programming, film, graphic design, his current major, and photography, while I gravitated towards the other freshmen in the world literature course I took. I was, however, kept in the loop as to the progress of a project that Sandman and his pals were working on. He would talk to me sometimes about this game he was helping them make. From what I gathered at the time, it was a mixture of text-based horror and point-and-click style dungeon crawler that they were calling Warlock with an E.
He was wildly excited about being involved in this project, and would almost get giddy when he talked about it, grinning stupidly while assuring me that Warlock was going to be the next big thing in gaming. I always humored him though, although in reality I thought the whole thing was some sort of pipe dream. There was progress being made though, as he would sometimes show me bits of what the team had accomplished thus far. It looked okay, but didn't see how it would achieve the popularity to which he was so sure. The premise was a simple one. Get through a dungeon, collect items, fight baddies, save the princess, you know the drill. The hook, however, was that this was going to be an adults-only game with digitized photos depicting graphic violence and nudity. That adult theme was the gimmick that would serve as the selling point, getting grown-ups to pick it up and teenagers to lust after it. I guess I couldn't really argue that sex and violence really sell. Sandman's contribution was to help with the digitizing and editing of the photos to be used in the game. Lots of blood and guts, stuff that you would find in Fangoria magazine, of which Sandman usually had a copy. He let me, or more accurately, made me borrow a tape to watch on one time on which he had recorded his favorite bits of movies like Mondo Cane, Faces of Death, and various Italian cannibal films, which apparently is a genre. Pretty sick stuff, not my cup of tea, but nothing unheard of.
For a few weeks, I was hearing lots about Warlock and how underground gaming was going to break into the mainstream. But gradually, Sandman's excitement seemed to wane. I eventually asked him about the progress of the game, and he said all he knew was that it was in development. A few days later, I saw him fervently working at his monolith of a laptop again. When I inquired, he stated the game was getting a graphical overhaul, and he was in the process of digitizing and cleaning up a few new grisly photos. I chuckled and wished him luck. It was later in the month after spring break that I met up with the Sandman in the library after a statistics class. When he saw me approaching, he let loose the toothiest grin I ever saw from him, and he proudly held up a 3.5-inch floppy disk. He reminded me of Lady Liberty, towering high with her torch in hand. I sat next to him and proceeded to tell me that the beta version was playable and almost ready to shop around to distributors. He opened his laptop case and handed me one of the stack of about a dozen floppies. Here, he said, take this home and let me know what you think. Sure, I agreed with a chuckle, adding, I hope my computer has no juice to run it. Oh my god, there's an executable. Oh my god, that takes me back. Nice.
After a few days of "Did you play it yet?" from Sandman, I finally got around to checking out what I was told to be the guest-selling game of 1992, the year of which they were sure that they would have mass distribution. On a Thursday evening at home, I popped the floppy to my Packard Bell and booted her up into DOS. The setup ran smoothly and was finished and configured in about 10 minutes. Upon launching the game program, I noticed that the title screen looked, well, fairly professional. Maybe I had underestimated the ragtag band of artists who, according to the startup screen, were calling themselves Tesseract Solutions. More rad misspellings to distinguish themselves as an edgy, forward-thinking upstart. I smirked to myself after reading the all-caps lock message explaining that this game was not intended for anyone under 18 years of age, despite being created by kids barely that old. I selected a new game and hit return. A text box popped up telling me that I had to rescue the Queen's handmaidens from a dungeon before some ritual called the Bloodening occurred. Oh man, the Bloodening? Really? This was going to be interesting. I hit return again and started the game. The interface looked pretty fresh and user-friendly, which was nice. The graphics were nothing to write home about. I noted the mouse cursor was a blood-soaked arrow, and I had appeared to have a few items in my inventory. I clicked the up arrow, which prompted the forward command, and came to a figure in a dark cloak. It was nice to have the option of either entering text commands or clicking with the mouse. The hooded figure gave me a dagger, which of course was stained with blood, and I continued on.
Not having a list of text commands didn't seem to affect my gameplay, as almost every command I used seemed to work. I figured they must have loaded a lot of variables into the command section, which was a nice touch for those of us who haven't played many text adventures. After coming across a wooden chest and obtaining a spell book, I learned a lightning spell. I was starting to wonder what I would get to the digitized when I would get to the digitized photos that Sandman had been working on. Eventually, an enemy appeared, and I battled him. The skirmish was uneventful. I took some damage and then defeated the foe. When I killed the enemy, the display area went from showing the dungeon ahead to displaying a crudely digitized photo of a red face I assume was my enemy after his defeat. It was a strange and somewhat off-putting image. I guess this is where I'm going to earn that 18+ rating, I thought to myself. Let's see if we can find the image. Oh. The spoils of victory. Thou hast received a health potion. Okay, that one's pretty creepy. Hitting any key or clicking anywhere seemed to remove the photo and bring the dungeon back. I explored some more and came across a guy in the wizard cloak and hat and he asked if I was friend or foe. I typed friend, and he proceeded to call me a liar and engage me in battle. I could tell this game wasn't shooting for any points intellectually. I attacked him a few times and finished off with a dagger. I was rewarded again with another picture of a bloody face. The color palette the designers were using really didn't lend itself well to this kind of digital photo display. Though the mess of grays, black, and red pixels, I could tell that the face was being shown didn't look anything like the wizard I had just battled. This was a matter of content over form, and the content was simply shock value. Whoa.
Let's see. Alright. After receiving another spell and a key from the wizard, I continued my search through the corridors of the labyrinth. Honestly, there weren't even very many wrong turns or pitfalls. I guess they just wanted to keep pace pretty action-packed. I eventually came to a set of iron bars and used the key I got from the wizard on them. What I saw next caught me off guard. A pixelated image of a topless woman tied down with rope popped up in the display area, accompanied by a text offering to thank me with either a spell or her body. I'll admit, I was more than curious as to what would happen if I took her up on the offer of her body. I was a college student without a girlfriend, give me a break. So I typed body into the text field, and I was shown another picture of a topless woman, this time not tied up. She was staring at me as seductively as a 4-color block woman could. I admit it was pretty funny, and hey, maybe it would work as a selling point for the game. Maybe there's a market for pornography resembling glitched out Nintendo games. As for me, I'd rather just look at Penthouse magazine through a kaleidoscope.
After you see the handmaiden's naughty bit, After you see the handmaiden's naughty bits, you could just type spell and get the new attack anyway. So my journey through the game continued on as I fought baddies, got items, and rescued handmaidens. For each fight I won, I was rewarded with a new gruesome photo, the spoils of victory. Some of them looked like they were out of a horror magazine or a slasher flick. Others were hard to make out, but were slightly more upsetting. I was noticing that they didn't even seem to fit the dungeon crawl theme of the game. They were more like crime scene or emergency room photos. Like I said, not easy to see exactly what was happening in them. I guess Sandman did the best he could with the low resolution and minuscule color palette he had. Oh god. Okay, that one's kind of grotesque. I have no idea what that is. Jesus. Alright, anyways. The handmaidens were a little odd to me also. I'm not a prude or anything, I know that some chicks are into bondage, but the women in the pictures all look kind of frightened or worried. They did not appear at all relieved to see the warlock come to save them, despite their constant offers to ludicrously satisfy his physical needs. Whatever, maybe I'm just not into tied-up girls.
I eventually saved the third and final handmaiden, and when I turned around, was face to face with a new enemy, known as the Blood Demon. Well, who else would you expect to hold a ritual called the Bloodening? This was the toughest opponent I had yet faced. All the others up to this point were almost criminally easy. I had the health potion, though, and the items didn't seem to disappear after use, so the only thing that really made the Blood Demon tougher was he took longer to kill. I wondered later if it was even possible to die in this game. So I handily defeated what turned out to be the final boss of this short game. The game showed me a picture of my slain foe, which looked like some kind of dead raccoon or turtle. But I was surprised that they actually got an image that wasn't just another human victim from a slasher flick. I was told that I would be receiving a handsome reward. I had the return key and was compensated for my efforts in the labyrinth by another nude female, who I assume was the queen, telling me to come hither and collect that reward. Another tap of the return key brought up a thanks for playing message, and a list of the guys who made the game together. I saw Sandman's name in the special thanks category, and I imagined how stupidly proud he must have been. There were one or two other names I thought I recognized, only as friends with Sandman's though.
Cool. Alright. These little pictures there real quick. Since I beat the game in one night, I was able to talk to Sandman about it, and the following day in the library, he once again asked me, "Did you play it yet?" And this time I was finally able to give him the answer he wanted. Of course he wanted to know what I thought about it, and how blown away I was by it. I didn't really have the heart to tell him. The plot of the game was wafer thin. The characters were all but non-existent. The gameplay was inane and repetitive. The dialogue was ridiculous. Comparable games were offering sound and sometimes music. The sex and violence would probably kill any mainstream release, or that the graphics were barely up to par with the other computer releases, until eclipsed by Nintendo and Genesis. So instead I said that it was bitchin' and really fun. I wasn't going to rain on this guy's parade, and hey, maybe the game would get picked up and become popular in some form or another. The fact remained that this group of college kids actually did put together a playable computer game that worked and might garner some attention. That's more than a lot of young programmers can say. When he asked, I told him that the digitized photos looked really good and would probably be a lot better as computer technology improved. He agreed and continued to talk my ear off about all the work that he and the others at Tesseract had done, and how this was only the beginning for them.
Finally, he had to go to class. And I was spared having to hear about adjusting the resolution on the in-game photos for the third time. From that point on, his mania seemed to level off. We got back to talking about things other than Warlock. But after several weeks, it was actually me who brought it up again. I asked what was going on with the game, and he told me that Aaron and Robert, two of the programmers, were just working out minor bugs. Just before the end of the semester, I had asked again, and he said that he had been able to get in contact with neither Aaron nor Robert. Others who had worked on the project either didn't know or wouldn't say what was going on. I told Sandman it would probably work out in a few days. Personally, I figured that things were going nowhere with the game, or that there was too much adult content in it to get picked up. Over the summer break, I was still living back home with my folks. One day in July, my dad told me to read an article he saw in the paper about some Penn State students who had been arrested, or questioned by police. I read over the article and saw a few names I recognized. I knew them either from the Warlock game credits or through Sandman, who wasn't mentioned in the paper but was still a minor. I told my dad I knew some of the kids' names, but didn't know any personally.
The story read that Jeffrey Maxwell, Robert Porter, Aaron Alvers, Peter Bodine, Daniel Chanel, and an unidentified minor had been arrested on suspicion of kidnapping, assault, and burglary in Philadelphia County. I was quite surprised by this and wondered what had happened, as the news article didn't give much details. I didn't hear much more about this for a week or so when a news report came on the local station They elaborated and gave new developments about the PSU student events. Apparently, Jeffrey Maxwell and Daniel Scannell were questioned and released, while Robert Porter, Aaron Alvers, and Peter Bodine were being held on charges that now include murder and conspiracy to commit murder, along with another man named Jerome Watts. Obviously, this got my attention. Porter, Alvers, and Bodine allegedly traveled from State College, Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia in the Bucks County area at least 3 times between February and May of 1991 and hired prostitutes. The 3 were accused of taking the prostitutes to an empty house and assaulting them, causing bruises, broken ribs, and in one of the girls, a concussion. This abandoned house, a former residence of Jerome Watts, was also thought to be the site of at least 2 murders committed by the Porter and Alvers. Watts, a 34-year-old sanitation worker, had copped a plea deal in return for further evidence on Porter and Alvers. Bodine was still being held on conspiracy. After gathering physical and circumstantial evidence on Porter, police obtained a warrant and allegedly found a shotgun which may have been used in the murders, as well as photographic evidence linking himself, Alvers, and Bodine to the scene of the crime. There were also several incriminating files found on his computer and some body parts appearing to be from small animals hidden in his bedroom walls. The next day, I got a call from Sandman, to whom I can't remember giving my number. My family is in the phone book. He sounded nervous and almost frantic. He told me that I had to delete that game from my hard drive and shred or burn the disk he gave me. I told him I saw the news and asked him what the hell was going on. Still sounding shaken, he said that he had no idea what the photos he had digitized came from. I swear I thought they were just from Fangoria and some titty magazines, he choked out. And some of them were. I swear to God, some of those dead people were just special effects from movies. I know, I've seen them.
Told him to calm down, and that he had nothing to worry about. That he couldn't have known what he was doing, and the police would realize that when he was questioned. He seemed to be settling down a bit, but said he had more calls to make. I told him that probably wasn't a good idea at this point. He just said yeah and hung up. That was actually the last time I ever spoke to Sandman. I had heard that he had transferred to Penn Tech to finish school. Can't blame him. PSU main campus is a big place. I'm pretty sure almost everyone who would have been eyeing him, as well as the other members of Tesseract Solutions. I never asked him, nor anyone else, about which of the photos in Warlock were from horror movies and titty magazines, and which ones, well, weren't. I didn't want to know, and I still don't want to know. I deleted the game from my hard drive, and I couldn't remember where the disc was. I actually found it not too long ago, and I couldn't resist the temptation to play through it again. Incidentally, it never got picked up for any major distribution, if you can believe it. But there must have been a few copies floating around, and I remember how silly I thought it was back in school. It didn't seem silly this time, though. I kind of wish I hadn't replayed it. I wonder whatever happened to those guys. Now that Jeffrey Maxwell and Janet Scannell gone off with extended probation, and Aaron Alvers and Pete Bodine served 6 to 4 years respectively, Bobby Porter is still in the penitentiary, I think. I guess in this day and age, it would be easy enough to track them down and see what they're up to. Seems kind of morbid, though. I do still think about the quirky mulatto kid from freshman comp, though. How hard would it be to track down someone named Sandman Archibald Bunford?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that. I like how
that's a
the
good one.
music like toned down as you read the last fucking word, dude. That was kind of funny. Yeah, okay, the twist there kind of creeped me the fuck out, yeah. And actually looking
Yeah.
at the images is kind of creepy too. I won't lie.
Mhm. Yeah, this one's a really good one.
Definitely not like bone chilling or anything, but it's like, wow, whoa, that's kind of,
Unsettling, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Like, really? God. Like, I could kind of see where the twist was going there. Like, oh, these images look slightly more unnerving than I thought they would. And then, you know,
They're real.
they're real. They're actually real. Someone, like, tied up and beat up these prostitutes, dude. I don't know. It's good, though. It's better than all the other ones we read, so
Yeah.
gotta give it
Ooh.
credit.
Yeah.
Pac-Man.
My question is, what are the images? I didn't see the images. I kind of felt like zoned out and just like,
It was like
what
nasty
what
shit
the fuck?
of like,
The fuck?
Uh,
Oh, it's a topless woman. Oh, TOS guys.
I can't tell.
Nah, I'm stuck with it.
But yeah, there's like these. Those are probably from magazines, and then like this one's kind of fucked.
suspect.
This one's really,
This one's really, really bad.
yeah. This one's probably one of the bad ones.
Yeah, that one I don't like. That one, oh god.
This one's kind of bad also.
Yeah, I can't even tell what that is anymore, man.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, on the right, you can see, like, the jaw, like, the teeth.
Ugh.
Yeah. Bleh. I guess my buddy Sandman wasn't a buddy anymore, guys.
I mean, he didn't really do anything. Ooh, that one's a bad one, too.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
like that one.
Ugh.
Was he arrested? Well, they said he was arrested though.
He wasn't.
He was brought in for questioning.
But they couldn't do anything to him because he was a minor.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that one's
Basically,
kinda
he had
scary.
witnessed like actual photos of depicting people being killed and shit, and he just didn't
Yeah.
even know.
That's just kind of fucked up.
It is pretty
Yeah.
freaky to think about.
Basically, the other guys he was working with, instead of pulling them from, like, movies and like, magazines, they hired prostitutes and tied them and beat them. And that's how they got those pictures of the women. And then as for the digitized photos of, you know, dead people, they actually murdered people. And then
Yeah.
took pictures, and then Sandman digitized them all.
one of these pictures is actually of an animal, and I think that's one of the animals that I mentioned.
Yeah, where they were saying that he has, like, remnants of, like, small body parts of animals in his walls.
Yeah. Basically, he was working with a group of fucking crazy people that were killing people and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to witness those images. Like that part's probably the creepy part. Like, imagine being Sandman, right? And you're showed an image that you're told is from like a staged like slasher flick or from like a gore magazine or a Bond or like a pornography magazine, and it's actually real people that someone had like tied up with the intention to kill.
That's
or
fucked.
had killed with the real intention to kill them, and they're actually dead, and you basically just witnessed their murder scene. That's gotta be the most terrifying thought ever, dude. Like, what if I saw a porno and like all that shit was actually real?
Fuck, man, that's fucked up, man. Honestly.
Keeps me away from gore, I'll tell you that. I don't want to witness people fucking getting murdered.
The real question is, like, why are there gore magazines? I don't get that.
Some people are just into the blood and shit. Like, and some of it's
Yeah,
just for
people-
like special, it's like testing out people's special effects skills.
Yeah.
Like how well you can make like a realistic fucking like brain injury or something. I don't know.
And like it's like with Manhunt, like snuff film rings and like people who get off to that stuff's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like imagine seeing something that you think is fake and then it actually being real, and then the sudden realization after the fact that, you know, that was a real person that you just watched die or witnessed the death of, and you thought it was just special effects. Like, oh, that's how crazy like technology is to this day. You could witness someone's death and not even know it because you just assume it's special effects. Give me the butter. What is this?
No.
No.
No. I
no.
refuse. I refuse.
Dude, come on, you gotta read it. We gotta read
Come
it.
on, all right,
want
we gotta
to.
do it. We got to, because it's a
Please
funny
give me
name.
the butter.
Oh my god, here, I'll send it to you.
No.
Give me the butter.
Butter.
It sounds like a demand at this point.
It's fucking
Give-
Hungry Pumpkin, but like a creepypasta.
Give me the French fries. Give me
Give
the
me
pepper.
the salt. Give me the
Oh
butter.
no, it's short, but
Oh, this is great, dude. This is great.
this is not okay, dude.
No, this is absolutely okay.
No, I don't want that.
After all,
No,
after
I
all
don't
the
want that.
bullshit we read today, except like the only good story was My Buddy Sandman. Let's be honest here, and I Hate You. Those are the only two good
Only
stories.
two, yeah.
Yeah, we hand selected them to be good ones.
All right, give me the butter. Fuck off, James. Okay, here we go.
All right,
You
let's
may
hear it.
have heard of the Hungry Pumpkin. Some users online have made fun of this minigame found in Pumpkin World and have even made YouTube poops based off of it. But most people don't know is that this minigame has an origin to it. It is based off of a disturbing event that took place at a particular cafe.
Okay.
Nobody knew why this person wasn't banned, but for some reason, the owner of the cafe took a liking to this customer. He creeped children out with his gross appearance, perhaps something gained from his terrible eating habits. He would come to this cafe every day because he loved the food there. That wasn't the problem with him at first, but he started to become attached to this cafe after eating there a couple times.
At first, he started to treat the workers and other customers poorly. If a food dish was slightly off and not how he wanted it to be, he would decline it and sometimes break the plate in rage due to his short temper. Other issues involved him grossing out people by drinking a container of ketchup. He also had terrible hygiene, which made other customers either leave or sit far away from him. Sometimes he would leave the cafe without paying for his meal, but for some reason, that didn't bother the owner.
Some people nicknamed him the Pumpkin Man due to how he looked. They would secretly keep it to themselves because the cafe owner would scold and sometimes kick people out who said anything mad about the Pumpkin Man, claiming he was severely mental and that other people should go easy on him because of it. This even happened when the employees would make legitimate complaints about him, and even when the customers who ate there did the same. Eventually, his behavior took a turn for the worse.
The Pumpkin Man walked into the cafe one morning and was about to enjoy a good breakfast, anticipating his pancakes and syrup. There was only one problem though. The cafe had a shortage of butter on that day. This whole incident could have been avoided, but the owner pointed to a young couple who he had given the last of the butter to. The Pumpkin Man went over to the couple and demanded they give him the last of the butter. They both refused just to spite him, and he lost his temper. He didn't want to be denied of his meal. He lashed out at one of them and the other, who tried to rush in and help when they heard screaming. When they were able to subdue the Pumpkin Man, it was too late.
The victim who got in the way of his meal, stayed in the hospital where he died a few days later. He should have been arrested for this, but the owner was able to get the crooked cops of the small town to look the other way with a bribe. Everyone became frightened by the Pumpkin Man and had gotten fed up with his behavior. After that incident was covered up, the Pumpkin Man was the only one who came into the cafe. When the owner saw him come in, he smiled and had a delicious meal ready for him.
Now, if you're interested in finding out about this cafe, you may be disappointed. You try to look up the story on Google, it won't be there. Also, that cafe went out of business a few years ago. After its closing, the owner disappeared and is never seen again. Luckily, the same happened to the Pumpkin Man, which brought joy to everyone who lived around there.
One of the employees who used to work at the cafe pitched an idea to the people who were designing Pumpkin World. He suggested the idea of a rude pumpkin who was a complete glutton. The designers, thinking this was a clever idea, agreed to this. However, they weren't aware of what was being parodied. I hate that.
That's literally the worst one.
That's
literally the
worse.
worst one.
That's worse than Blood Whistle, bro.
That's worse than all of them, dude. It's just like, it's not even, there's no story. It's literally just the Pumpkin Man, but like, we made it into a real story, guys. It's real. Pumpkin Man
Dude,
is
the
actually
Pumpkin Man
real.
is so iconic. They made it into a real person.
Pumpkin Man is
Give
real,
me
guys.
the butter.
Give me
Can
the
we get
fries.
tiger so high? The Pumpkin Man. The Pumpkin Man is real.
How do you know?
Oh,
There's our...
reason.
Alright.
Alright, we need another palate cleanser, dude.
Yes,
Genocide City.
Sonic Endless. What is this? Oh no. It starts out like that. No, stop. Stop. I don't want to want. No. We're not doing this one. No. This is not a palette cleanser. This is a palette comer.
Sonic Endless.
Yeah, that was the one I looked
What
at.
about Hitler.exe?
Fuck off.
We're not reading that.
Yeah, no,
What's
fuck
a
with
good
you.
one? Could be like a good short and oh, I know a good one. It's called Just a Nightmare.
Okay. Will it give me nightmares?
James, quit rubbing your stubble all over your microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Dude, this was bad. Why is it so long? Oh my god.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hacked. Yeah.
I'm not reading that. The mighty will fall.
Oh, the mighty will fall. He sounds like Ed. Oh, the mighty will fall.
Yeah, these Sonic ones are usually like the most in-depth ones too. What is this? Oh my god.
Pac-Man, yeah. The mighty will fall.
Blindy, sleepy old one.
We're here to complete what we started. Casted out by those we so desperately wanted to be a part of. Alright, I sent you the link to the pasta.
To the creepypastas.
The creepiest of dicks.
Just a nightmare. Okay, here we
This
go.
was a good one. Alright.
There's
Alright,
currently no text on this page.
What the fuck? There literally is though. I have it up right now.
What if they just took it down? Like they cut this in Super Mario 3D World? Oh, sorry,
Wait.
Super Blood World.
Let me resend the link.
Alright.
Does it start with you awoke in a cold sweat?
Yes.
Okay, I found it.
Alright. I'll start it. You awoke in a cold sweat from your dream, looking around the dim room with a fright. You didn't remember anything that happened in it except for a loud bang at the end, but you passed it off as just a nightmare. It had been a recurring nightmare you've had for the past few days now. You slowly arose from your bed, preparing your lunch for the day before heading off to work, stopping at a local store to pick up a little something along the way.
As you drove, you reflected on your life before now. How your life partner had recently passed away from an unknown cancer at such a young age. How your children had recently graduated from college and now were living on their own with a decent paying job and a date as well. You felt happy and proud of them, but you couldn't help but feel a certain feeling inside. It was like a sickness. It was like a feeling of despairing emptiness. You went to your small cubicle and started to get to work at your small desk. Your job was a fairly decent one that paid well in this day and age, considering the economy, but it was monotonous. I felt after a while all you were doing was pressing the same keys over and over and moving your mouse around to give commands to a rather outdated personal computer. Click, click. You had been repeating these same tasks for the past few
3 years,
years.
I think it is.
3
Yeah.
years with no raise or any comfort at home to make things better, realizing that you are all alone now. After a few hours.
Oh wait,
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we're just gonna do two at a time.
Yeah.
After a few hours of this miserable process came lunchtime, and you knew what that meant. You quickly got up, bringing your lunchbox along with you as you moved to where everyone else was eating. Stanley, a co-worker and a close friend here, awaited for you at the water dispenser. He was wearing his usual work attire, a white shirt over black dress pants and a small red tie. He greeted you happily as you walked over to him, adjusting his brown glasses. You liked Stanley. He was a pleasure to chat with, at least at first. but the dullness settled in very quickly as well.
The 2 days of you always ended up talking on the same subjects and discussing during every lunch hour. You were afraid to admit it to him, and it was becoming boring that everything was, in fact. But you were afraid of how he would react to that he just might care too much over to you. He just as might care too much over to you. Okay, you didn't want to shock and surprise him too much. He did, however, speculate that you were becoming increasingly more empty and bitter. But you always assured him that you were fine, and he stopped pursuing his questions. After a few minutes of this worthless congregation, you set out to eat your lunch for today. It was always the same thing every day, a ham sandwich with a banana. Sometimes you brought a soda, other times it was a mere water bottle.
A few years ago, back when your loved one was still roaming the earth, she would sometimes throw in something else, even if it was something as plain as simple as a pickle. You always were in delight over it. It was a break from the same food every day. Nowadays, you didn't have enough time to throw in a little something extra, but you were certain that you had quite a surprise for the day. You consumed your sandwich very quickly, without hesitation, with your fruit to follow. Nobody seemed to notice how fast you were eating your food. It was almost too easy, you thought. This is when you usually returned to your cubicle to get back to work. But today, you had a little extra.
From your bag, you withdrew a small handgun that you had just picked up from your last paycheck earlier that morning. Nobody noticed it for a few seconds before a woman started to scream and point at the sight of the revolver. Some of them begged you to stop, reaching out to you. They were trying to talk you into not doing it. You barked at them, making empty threats that you would shoot anyone that gets within touching distance. You felt bad about it. You were really a nice and caring person. One of them quickly phoned the police, saying that they were going to get you help. You didn't care. The dullness, the melancholy, the emptiness, it all had to end.
You looked at the crowd, Stanley standing at the front. He pleaded to you, begging you to consider your thoughts and actions. He offered to help you if you were to listen to him. Without saying a word to him, you opened your mouth and placed the pistol inside of it. You heard the masses scream before your vision faded to black as you pulled the trigger. You woke in a cold sweat from your dream, looking around the dim room with affright. You didn't remember anything that happened in it except for a loud bang at the end, but you passed it off as just a nightmare. It had been a recurring nightmare you've had for the past few days now. You slowly arose from your bed, preparing your lunch for the day before heading to work, stopping at a local store to pick up a little something extra along the way.
Yo, the ending though.
That was a good ending.
Get a little extra.
A little extra pickle, you know what I mean?
Username 66. Get a little extra pickle.
Classic one.
That's classic.
Little extra pickle.
Okay, I actually don't want to read username 666 because I don't know that one.
Oh, dude. All right.
Alright, it's classic. It's classic.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Alright, this one's a short one.
Yeah. All right.
Alright, here, let me read the little introduction. Username 666, also known as SM666 on Nico Nico Doga, is a video pasta by Nana825763. It shows what happens when one searches for the username 666 on YouTube and then refreshes the page a few times. This pasta has actually created a few rumors, one of which is that the original 666 account contained a virus that changed all text into sixes. Due to the popularity of the video, Nana825763 created a sequel called Another YouTube. There is a similar video to username 666 called None, lowercase, whose now colored footage appears the video. The corrupted account near the end. Okay, whatever. There is an exploitable clone of Nana825763's username 666. It's a clone, it works, but sometimes contains creepy viruses. If you're willing to take the risk of letting it into your system, that's fine, but it messes up computers. Just be careful. Sometimes it affects other pages too.
All right. YouTube is a remembered piece of history. Back then, 2006, not much was known, and all you could see in the community were just people uploading cat videos. But one particular user has caused enough controversy to be called. The channel had posted a ton of gore porn and blood fetish that the user was recently removed for playing with the TOS, but it can still be accessed. One day, a person on YouTube has posted their experience with the channel from a defunct blogging website. I worked for YouTube during 2006. I was a busy worker and recently uploaded videos here. What I didn't know was that some of the YouTube moderators suspended a YouTube account. I told them what it was, but they wouldn't want me to. I was wondering why I wasn't allowed to go on that page, rather than what it was. But just then, one of the moderators handed me a piece of paper with a writing on it. It was a link. He pleaded me not to ask us about the super secret username ever again. The link was a YouTube user link. It said, youtube.com/666. I went home after work and typed it in my computer. I found out the account was suspended, so it's no worry.
But when I refreshed the pages several times, something's changed. All of the video tags turned into the letters X666, and every single text in the screen said 666. I thought someone was hacking my computer, but I denied it and then refreshed it. Just then, a channel popped up. It was the 666's channel. I looked at some of the videos and most of them were crazy. One video contained 4 babies twisting their head. Another video showed swirled graphics. I decided to get off the video and went to another one, but a blank pop-up was shown. I clicked the blank button and it took me to another video by 666. The video was shown a woman drowning in a blood pool and disgusting things happened. I thought this was disgusting, so I decided to pause the video. It didn't let me because it wasn't responding. I decided to close the Internet Explorer, but it wouldn't budge. I also tried. Shut up. I also tried to go to another video too, but it didn't work either. I thought there was no way out until I thought.
The shutdown button, of course. I decided to shut down my computer so the virus wouldn't get through my computer again. But the button wouldn't work. Shutdown buttons respond all the time. I knew I was hacked. All hope was lost. I couldn't get out of Explorer. The video kept going on and on. And there was nothing to stop me. The girl in the video just kept staring at me, looking at me with random sounds and beatings playing. Just then, the woman from the video's hand popped out of the video and crashed my Internet Explorer. After a few days, I was recently fired after going through that horrid experience with the 666 channel. That's when I thought of this. Could this actually have been made by the devil? Was it a joke to scare YouTubers? Either way, this myth was very mysterious. I haven't gone through sleep after watching those videos. I wonder who made them. This blogspot was then defunct after 2 days when the blog was done. When anyone enters the blog, a message will pop up saying, "Removed my admin." Error code 666. The blogger has sent me his experience by email, asking me to post this on his website. He also left a note. Never go nor refresh username 666. Once you have finished, it will never stop. It won't come out. I hope no one ever tried this.
It returns. So you think you've seen the last of 666, right? Wrong. It seems the 2010 to 2012 username 666 has been found, and so far does not sound fake, nor is it made by Nana. Not much information is known, therefore we will share what we have seen on the recent discovery in a list format for temporary layout. Username suspended 666 account created by unknown, no chance it can be Nana again. Fake? So far, not any chance. Decreated October 2nd, 2010. The pattern was formed but decoded to show that each year that passes, the creation date changes, and when October 2nd hits, it says created in 2011 and then now says created 2012. And that's it. Dead
That was
Bart.
awful. Dude, I remember Dead Bart.
Squidward
Oh my gosh.
suicide, dude. There it is.
Mariana Mordegard Glesgorf, the weird part of YouTube, the Rugrats theory. Mr. Mix, oh my gosh.
Tamino's hell. Glitchy red, dude. Oh my god. Help needed. Help needed. That one's actually pretty good, I think.
Oh man. Dude, normal porn for normal people. That's a good one also.
Normal porn for normal people.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll open it up.
That one's actually kind of creepy.
Dead Bart, dude. Squidward suicide.
Dude, fucking dead Bart, I swear. Wait,
This is an
wait,
actual
why?
screen cap from the show, dude.
I know.
I'm gonna open help needed too.
Let's see.
All right. Normal porn for normal people. Here we go.
Let's see.
Dude, this fucking music. Oh my god.
We'd love to hear it. All right. I'll start then. All right. Everyone knows that if you surf the web long enough, you'll see some pretty sick shit. This is especially true if you intentionally dwell into the dark underbelly of the internet. I've seen quite a few things I don't care to admit to, but one thing that I'll always remember is a site called normalpornfornormalpeople.com. The first strange thing up on the site was that I didn't find it by actually looking for it. It was emailed to me by someone I didn't know. The email was as follows. Hi there. Found this site. It's very nice. Thought you might like. Normalpornfornormalpeople.com. Pass it on for the good of mankind. Pretty standard issue chain letter, though the URL and the last remark really piqued my curiosity. I was having a very boring day when I got this, so I made sure my antivirus was working, and then I clicked on it.
Oh shit. Thank you for the fart. Caught off guard by a fart again. Let's go. Shit. Going to bed before I do. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't you dare. I know what you're about to do. Don't do it.
I'll wait for it.
We're waiting. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. Don't do it. We're waiting for it. You gotta jig, James. I'm just gonna make you jig. You better jig to Ice Demon by Kevin McLeod. You only watch the stream so you can save for the little jig. I hate you. What little jig am I doing now? You better get ready to jig. You said better jig, bitch.
You better get ready to jig.
What jig am I doing now?
Surprise us.
Surprise us? Shit.
She said turn on the light. I'm trying to see you in HD.
No, I'm not turning on the light. My room's a mess. Okay, fine. I'll turn on the light.
Let's go.
Am I in frame? Am I in frame?
Yes. The man's is in frame. Let's go.
I'm barely reaching with this headphone. These headphones, dude.
Let's go.
Jake
boy.
Wait. Move this back so I can. Do a little
Jake to
jig.
Kevin.
All right,
Jake to
time.
Ice Demon by Kevin McLeod.
Jig time.
All right. Let's go.
There's your fucking
go.
jig.
Dude,
You get your
man's
fucking
hit the...
default dance jig in.
Yeah, man, it's at the default dance. Let's go.
All right, back to creepypasta reading. That was perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think the glasses helped. Truly.
Yeah, definitely.
Where were we at?
Let's
So-
see.
The email was
You were.
as follows.
It was very
Okay.
strange. There we go.
Clicked on it. Okay. It was very average, very generic looking site. It gave the impression that the creators just barely gave a shit about making it look professional. The author seemed to have a very tenuous grasp on English, And on the
Thanks,
front page
Freckle. Good night.
was a
Sorry.
long, boring, and incoherent rant that I don't remember or have saved. Okay, good night. Enjoy your creepypasta. No! You better stay for these readings. You must endure the shit as well.
Shit pasta. Creepy shit.
Shit pasta. Creepy shit.
Alright.
Alright, where was I? Okay. Don't remember where I've saved. This I had a strange tagline, which even today people haven't figured out the meaning of, which was normal porn for normal people, a website dedicated to the eradication of abnormal sexuality. And from the sound of that, I wasn't sure whether I was here to watch porn or if I had stumbled onto some kind of eugenics program. But if I was here now, and I was very, very curious to see what normal people get their rocks off to. So I scrolled down through the rant and nothing. The page didn't seem to link to anywhere else, and I was about to leave when I noticed every word of the rant was in its own hyperlink. So I clicked one of them and was sent to a white page with a very long list of links in the form of normalpornfornormalpeople.com/random letters.
So I stopped for a minute and asked myself if I really want to waste God knows how much time clicking random links that will likely give me a virus that will infect my computer. I figured I'd just try it for maybe 5 minutes just to see if anything came up. I clicked on one of the links and it was sent to another page. This page apparently had totally different URLs than the last one. I was just about to say fuck this when I clicked on the third link and a video came up. It was called peanut.avi. It was a 30-minute video of a man, a woman, and a dog in a kitchen. The woman would make a peanut butter sandwich and the man would set it down for the dog to eat. This was all that happened for 30 minutes. It was obviously that the cameraman had to stop filming and wait till the dog was ready to eat again. The dog seemed rather sick by the end of it. I know what you're thinking. What the hell does this have to do with porn? I have no clue. I've seen a little over 24 videos from the site, and the majority had no sexual activity at all. After watching peanut.avi, I went on a certain image board I frequent to play online show and tell, like I always do with weird shit like this. But someone had already made a thread about it, some guy who had received the same chain letter I did. The image board thread got lots of people with nothing better to do to dig through the site, and that's how I saw the other videos.
Most of those 24 videos were very uneventful and consisted of people talking to the cameraman in a room with nothing in it but a desk and a few chairs. I mean, literally nothing on the walls or in terms of furniture. The whole room had a very cold, sterile feel to it. The conversations were just idle banter about previous jobs or embarrassing childhood moments. I kept expecting some kind of discussion about what the people were filming or what the site was about, but of course, nothing. You would never know these videos had anything to do with porn if you saw it out of context. I will say one thing though, the people who appeared in the video were quite attractive. However, the other videos that actually did feature content, which I suppose could be called sexual, is where things got weird. I'll give brief descriptions of the stranger videos. If you're really eaten up with curiosity, you can try to hunt them down on a torrent site.
Okay. LickedClean.avi, a 10-minute video filmed by a camera in which we see a repairman working on a washing machine for the first 2 minutes. When it's fixed, the repairman talks to the owner briefly, then leaves. The owner checks to make sure the repairman is gone. It begins to lick all over the top of the washing machine. This goes on for 7 minutes. Jimbo.avi, a 5-minute video of an obese man performing his act. It was actually pretty funny, particularly one part where he pretends to pull up a chair. Then pretends that it breaks because of his weight. In the last 30 seconds of the video, the camera cuts to static briefly, and cuts back to the man sobbing quietly, still wearing mime outfit and makeup. Some kind of obscure fetish.
Diana.avi, 4-minute video in which the cameraman talks to a woman in a room different from the interview room. This room looks like one you'd find in a normal person's house. Exactly where they are is never specified, as Diana only talks about her violin playing. She obviously plays her violin, but she keeps getting distracted by something. I didn't notice this until someone on the image board thread pointed it out, but if you look at the mirror in the background, you can see a fat man in a chicken mask masturbating.
I just
Jessica.
woke up for what the fuck?
Going, was really good. Okay, pause. Go back.
I'm going to bed. Nope. 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 Nope.
Good night, bro. I'll see you.
All right, night, bro.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Jessica.avi, another 4-minute cameraman video. This time he's outside a house talking to another young woman. They talk about canoe rides. The camera zooms out to reveal the city streets behind them occasionally. The strange thing is, no one so far has been able to identify where the street is. Guesses have ranged anywhere from Europe to Australia to the Philippines, but there's yet to be a match for the street shown in the video.
Tongue-tied.avi. 10-minute video. The first 5 minutes consists of an elderly woman making out with a mannequin. The video cuts out like it did in Jimbo.avi halfway through, and the scene is now a group of mannequins huddled together in a circle around the camera. The lights have been dimmed, and the elderly woman is nowhere to be seen. From this point on, there is no sound. Stumps.avi. 5-minute long video where a man with no legs is attempting to breakdance on a DDR mat in what looks like the kitchen from Peanut.avi, but much dirtier. There's radio playing music unseen in the background, but it stops at the 4-minute mark when the man collapses on the mat in exhaustion. He breathes heavily and pleads with someone off screen to let him rest. This off-screen person becomes terrifyingly enraged and yells at him to keep dancing, which he does. You can hear this off-screen person begin to scream as the video ends abruptly. Privacy.avi. The woman in Diana.avi is masturbating on a mattress in the interview room, while a man from Stumps.avi walks around in his hands with some kind of goblin mask on. The door in this room is always closed in the other videos, but now it's open. In this video, the only light is in the room, and the hallway is dark. Near the end of the video, you can see an animal quickly run through the hallway.
And finally, the last video we uncovered. Useless.avi. In this 18-minute video, a blonde woman from one of the previous interview videos is tied down to a mattress in the interview room. She attempts to scream, but her mouth is taped over. After 7 minutes, a man in a black suit and mask opens the door, but he does not enter. He holds the door open for the animal that was running in the hall in the previous video. It's revealed to be an adult chimpanzee. His hair shaved and his entire body painted red. When the chimp enters the room, the masked man closes the door behind it. The chimpanzee sniffs the air for a moment. It may have been blind. It notices the woman tied to the mattress. It goes into a frenzy and begins to maul her. The assault goes on for a grueling 7 minutes until the woman finally dies. The chimp eats flesh from her corpse for 4 minutes as the video ends.
The thread exploded with activity after this video was uncovered, and people discussed it long into the night. When I came back to the image board the next day, I found the thread was deleted. I tried to start another one, and they banned me. I tried emailing the guy who sent me the chain letter with the site's URL, sent him 5 messages and never got a response. I've tried to discuss the website on various places, and I got banned frequently. The site itself was also deleted about 3 days after useless.avi was uncovered, likely because someone contacted the authorities about it. The only proof that normalpornfornormalpeople.com ever existed was a few screen caps people took and videos from the site that people have saved and uploaded on torrents. The most popular of which being useless.avi, which found its way into a few gore sites. Wherever you upload them to, all the videos from normalpornfornormalpeople.com get deleted after a while.
Dude. That one was genuinely fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Like, that shit had me uncomfortable through the entirety of the read time.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty creeped out by, like, the random shit, like the dog with peanut butter sandwiches and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got to the one where it's like, other people pointed out that there's a chicken man, like, masturbating in the background. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And then it makes all the other ones feel even more uncanny. Like, fucking tongue tie where elderly women is making out with a mannequin. Like, some of these are kind of funny, but then they just get weird once you, like, point out something creepy like the chicken masked man masturbating.
Yeah, or like in the tongue tied when like all the mannequins are surrounding the camera and then the lights are dim and there's no sound.
Yeah, what the fuck? I can imagine that too, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
And then like the chimpanzee, like as soon as I heard about like saw the animal and then I saw the chimp on the side of the screen. I was like, oh shit, I know what's about to happen here. Because adult chimps are pretty aggressive.
Yeah, and there's actually the pasta itself is censored because in the original story it said that the chimpanzee itself has cuts across its arms and along its back.
Jesus. So like, it was basically like sent into. It was basically triggered into like fight or flight mode, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. It was abused along with it being shaved and its body painted red. I can imagine the paint on like open wounds. That
It
must
was
be like
horrendously fucking irritating.
Yeah, that's just probably what pissed him off.
Yeah, he was probably set off by that, and that's how they use it to. Jesus, dude, that feels like it was like genuinely out of like a real horror story somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Oof. Realstories.exe, man. All right, what's
bad.
another one?
Oh man. Let's see what time is it. I gotta get off. I got work tomorrow.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back to work.
Dude, that's
ever since
actually a
COVID
great one to
stopped.
end it off on, actually.
That one is a very good one.
I'm gonna end stream there. We're almost at the 12-hour mark. I need to sleep too, honestly.
Yeah. Whew.
Wow, that's great though. Oh my god, that's a really good
Yeah.
one.
Alright, dude, get this fucking music out of here.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Disconnect that shit.
Yeah. Holy shit. Oh man. Luckily we had the music going on for. Were you able to see like playtime?
How long do we have the music going for? At least like 4 hours.
Wait, hold on, let me see.
Because
When
it's
did I put the
almost 12, and we ended Mario at like 8.
Yeah, it's true. Let's
So
see.
that's like 3 hours.
No, it was when did I put it in? I put I put it at 10 for me. So it had been going on for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Oh
Well,
my god.
if we count the first time. Let's
Yeah, that's
see.
about 4 hours because it's almost 3 for
7.
me. And it says 10.
Yeah, for me it's almost what? 1, so 7. So that was almost 4 hours. Oh my gosh.
Wow, dude. Same's long just been playing this whole time.
I mean, it's fitting.
Dude, that one, like, that actually enhanced the experience of that one. It was super fucking creepy.
Dude, that one was bad.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, just thinking about it, just it just gets me.
The
ugh.
fucking chimp at the end was like a really good. That was like a really good twist that was compounded by all the other creepy shit that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I think I remembered that one too. I remember hearing
Yeah.
about that like a while ago, and I never read it because I was too scared.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is that everything that happens in it could totally happen.
That's totally like tangible. That's not
Yeah.
like, oh look, spooky games haunted. Like that's like actually some real shit that probably exists on the internet somewhere.
I know. The internet's a big fucked up place, dude.
Like a fucking like spam link and shit. It takes you to a creepy, sketchy site that's got like fucking gore videos and shit on it, snuff shit. Oh my god,
It's bad.
that's terrifying. Anyways,
Damn.
what a great way to end the stream. Hope y'all guys have
I
a
know,
great
right?
night. Goodbye. Wait, hold on, not goodbye. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. We need to raid out someone. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Get in here, viewers. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room.
I forgot about that song.
All right. Rating now. I'm ending stream. Goodbye.